Welcome, everyone watching and listening right now.
Yo, what up?
To another
I
episode
may seem like I'm
of the
drunk
Two
and
Idiot
staring
Gamers
down at the
podcast.
floor, but that's because I am drunk and staring down at the floor. I apologize for that. What's up, Party Rock?
Yeah, this is the best I can do. This was like the best I can do. For those listening at home, at Spotify or at YouTube, we are currently live right now on twitch.tv/christhewiztv. This is the first of many live streamed, and yeah, he's
Deranged
waving. Look, he's
That's
waving.
how it goes.
AC's just waving right now. Deranged waving of other, if not other, like streamed and recorded podcast episodes. So the audio is going to be sent to Spotify and YouTube Music, and the streams are going to be up here. So,
Good. I mean,
how have you been?
I got back from climbing a little while ago.
You just got back from climbing, right?
I am now currently in quite a good amount of pain, though, because my fingers just have been abused for too long. And, like, yeah, I had a splinter. That was
And you have like a
unfun.
splinter or something, right?
Very unfun. Okay, so I got it out.
Did you have to
then
like pull it
I'd
out
only
before?
half
Or?
gotten out. So like I'd broken it and pulled out half of it, but not the whole thing. So I ended up having like this annoying pain for like a day, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And I went and looked at it. I'm like, "Oh, holy shit! There's still a fucking needle in there." So I had to like, well, it was still a bit of wood, and took a needle and was like, stab, ripped it out. No, it wasn't that deep.
It wasn't
just,
too
like,
deep, was it?
fucking annoying more than anything.
Oh, that sounds really bad. What else has been going on?
So I also
over there
finished the craziest
in,
fucking
Africa
climb today,
land?
so that's part of why I'm tired though. Where we had the finish is basically hook your legs over a hold and then dangle upside down. Yeah, I also took 3 years to finish this cooking. I'm cooking up a stone.
Oh god, yeah. AC was just cooking, and I was talking with Lindy. Thankfully, Lindy helped me through getting the window capture. So what you're seeing right now is just AC's model and virtual camera on Discord with green screen. And if you don't know, that's Nausicaan from
but I can change faces
Star
if I
Wars.
want to. But yes, same as Kit Fisto. If you want a
Wait,
character, a faced character.
Yeah, same as Kit Fisto. I'm pretty sure a lot of people listening wouldn't know what a you said Nausicaan, right?
You think I don't know what you're thinking
What's
about. I
what's a
assume you're just
Nausicaan? Am I
mispronouncing.
thinking of something else?
Probably.
Wait, hold on. I think
got
that's
bored of
actually like a
after
Star
about
Trek
5
thing.
episodes of every no. I managed 3 seasons. I managed 2 seasons of Next Generation, and like 3 episodes. Bruh.
Oh, it is. I just
know.
looked it up right now. Nausicaan is the name of the Star Trek race. Like importantly, one of the it's like the race of aliens, one that stabbed Picard in the back through his heart. That's why he has the artificial heart in Next Generation.
But also my species are basically frog people. We can breathe them.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Well, this film anyway. Not the Nausicaans. I don't know what they
Yeah.
are. They're
Not
deranged
the
lunatics who just crossbreed with frogs, I guess. I don't know. Nausicaans.
No, what is the
Tugarata,
the other what is it? No,
you think of the Mon Cala.
it's a trap
you think
dude.
Of the Mon
What's his
Cala
name?
and Admiral Akbar.
Yeah, the Mon Calamari.
So there's
Yeah.
nerds. So
Look at these nerds.
How you doing, Lyle?
What's up?
Yeah, no, we gotta be nerds. We're gamers, dude. Also, Lyle, first off, you're a geek calling us
the
nerds,
two
so-
idiot gamers.
Also, second, if anyone brings up Mirai Nikki, you will lose your shit.
Yes.
No, Mirai Nikki. Is it Mirai Nikki? What's that fucking game he plays all the goddamn time? No, not Mirai Nikki. It's a game where it's
Mickey
like a
or Nikki?
idle shooter type deal where you collect waifus. I don't know.
Oh,
I'm trying to figure out. Nikkei,
shooter?
that one.
Oh, Nikkei. Yeah, that one. Any games coming up that we're excited for?
I mean, I'm kind of
Rock?
excited
That is a
for
good
the new
question.
Star Wars
AC,
game, but also like
go first.
No, it hasn't sold itself to me. Mirai Nikki is something very different. Yeah, Outlaws, but I'm like,
Oh, Outlaws?
I'm not excited enough to want to buy it. Like I was when Jedi Survivor came out. I was fucking hyped. I like pre-release ordered that shit. I was like, fuck yeah, Jedi game. And then I saw fucking what's it? I was like, no.
Well, you found out that it was a female lead character, and then you're like, no, I hate women.
I just looked at it and I was like, Ubisoft. I have lost interest now. I'm not gonna lie, it was mostly the fact that it's Ubisoft,
right.
and I saw that and went, who cares? It's Ubisoft. I didn't really care. I was like, this could be a cool game, and then I saw who made it. I was like, I don't care anymore.
So I have a couple. I'm looking forward
yes!
to
Fuck yes! Although I
Space
don't know how I'm
Marine
gonna get
2.
it, but I need that game. I need to play it.
Stalker 2. That looks good. I played the first one a little bit. Frostpoint
really
2,
played
Silent Hill
games.
2.
I've never played a Silent Hill game in my life. Yume Nikki.
What are I literally have to look. I have to look up like which ones are coming out like this month and the months coming up. Let's see. Oh, there's the Black Myth Wukong
Silent Hill
game,
remake looks bad. What makes it look
that
bad?
I'm looking forward to.
I'm not going to argue with you because they've apparently done some weird things to character design that seems vastly unnecessary.
So I do not care at all about like anything about like the character design. Since I have never played Silent Hill 2, I have no tie to it, like personal tie. Like, oh, it's like Silent Hill 2. I played that game when I was a kid. They're changing how this character looks. Oh god, that sucks. I have no tie to it. If I probably would have like a stronger opinion of it if I did play it when I was younger, but I didn't. I'm looking forward to it because I never played the original Silent Hill 2, and people always say Silent Hill 2 is like one of the best ones. It introduced Pyramid Head, which is like a super iconic character.
Silent Hill. He's also in like Dead by Daylight and shit. So
yeah.
I'm like, interesting. Paralives.
The devs don't really know horror, and it seems like out an optimized mess. Just look at the PC specs. You see, I don't have to worry about that because I play console.
I'd look at it and be like,
AC would have to worry about that.
My reaction to the Silent Hill stuff is just, meh. Silent Hill 2 gave you real life paranoia. Holy shit.
I am interested in Marvel Rivals that's coming next year, Party Rock, and it looks cool. I mean, the gameplay just looks a little bit wonky to me, a little bit floaty, but I guess that's only like for like Spider-Man and some of the characters that can fly. If I do play it, I'd probably play as like Punisher.
Although I have
maybe
heard
Rocket
that the
Raccoon,
Marvel
the people
Rivals
that stay
is
on the
actually
ground.
like really cool in the way it plays and stuff, and the fact that all the heroes are really unique. I've heard that they're like really unique
Venom.
to play
Venom
hero,
looks
so I'm
cool.
like, that actually sounds kind of cool.
Yeah.
Console games have been asked too. Cheers to that.
I mean, you're right there.
Name
Some
really
console
good.
games
Yeah,
can
it
be
does.
ass.
Actually, Rivals
What
looks
is-
like it'll be
oh,
more fun to
Destiny.
play
Go away.
than the Star Wars one, which is Hunters. I was kind of excited for it until they were like mobile and Switch exclusive. I'm like, why the fuck is it exclusive to that? That's so stupid.
Oh yeah, that
It's
on
basically
like
the same as Rivals,
Hunters.
just like
that's
Star
like the
Wars-y.
team-based shooter game,
It's like
right?
this, it's
With
like
Star Wars
Overwatch
characters.
just with Star Wars and done badly.
I keep seeing ads about that, like on TikTok and stuff when I'm scrolling.
Yeah.
Like, there's like a droid that thinks he's a Jedi. Now the Jedi Survivor stuff, I know that happened
new one.
when it.
The new one
was it the original or the new one that launched?
Was terrible
it was like
on
super
PC when it
unoptimized on PC.
when I was playing, it would crash constantly. It would also crash OBS a lot, which was even more irritating. It'd be like, "Oh, I'm vibing." Oh no, it's crashed OBS. I have to like stop everything. And go, yeah, I heard, Lyle.
Oh, the mobile game was boring. Yeah, see, I don't really play mobile games all that much, so I wouldn't even play it.
No, it does. It does.
Rivals looks
Final
actually
Fantasy
fun.
16.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Final Fantasy
I can't wait to
16
play
was
Rivals.
Mid.
When it comes to Rivals, I played a lot of Overwatch and Overwatch 2, so I'm pretty used to like the team-based hero shooters. It is a really interesting way to introduce like Marvel characters into it, though. I just hope that they introduce like a really good support character, because when I played Overwatch 2, I really liked playing support, like Mercy. Sorry, is that a burp? Mercy.
Do I have to? You did just burp
Stop.
yourself. I didn't like do
Stop.
anything. You just did it on your own.
Stop it. I love playing Mercy. Mercy was fun. I could just turn my brain off and play Mercy. So far from the characters that I've seen in Marvel Rivals, Spider-Man is cool. Punisher's cool because Punisher's just like shooter. He can change between a rifle and a shotgun. Rocket Raccoon looks cool because he can shoot and provide support for his allies.
Yeah.
Like he
also
throws down like
they
a
also have
machine
like
that
a
heals
cool
people.
mechanic with like team up characters where like Rocket and Groot, like Rocket can climb on Groot's shoulder if you have some Groot, and like act as a turret on Groot, which I think is really fucking cool.
Mm-hmm. Now that's cool. I like that. I haven't seen too much of Venom, but I know that they added Blue Venom as like a skin or like a costume you could switch, which is cool. Blue Venom, I recognize from Marvel vs. Capcom 2. That game I used to play a lot when I was little at the arcades.
Ooh, yeah.
Lindy is excited for Paralives because EA needs competition in the life sim genre. Life by You is cancelled, so I hope Paralives is a good game.
It's like a Sims,
I have no idea what Paralives is.
It's like Sims, but like made by not EA. So it's got a lot of newer mechanics and better, like more. It's basically made for the player base of The Sims, but without like EA just trying to milk it for a million DLCs and all the money. So it's kind of like Stardew Valley was to Blue Harvest, where like the Blue Harvest games were like absolute dog shit, and then they were like, cool, and then what the fuck's his name? The guy who made Stardew Valley, he just made it because it was like his bad game, and he fucking made it. As far as I know, it has no DLC, like no DLC at all. It's just like straight up, the game is what you get.
I am curious to look
Sims
if I just
4. Go
pull up
Sims
Sims
4.
3 on
Sims
Steam
4,
real
'cause
quick
Sims 4 is free
to
to
see
play.
how much like the
All the
DLC
money,
does.
So Lindy actually looked
Sims
this
4.
up. It's about $1,200 to get all the DLCs. Oh, you see, I was close. I half remembered that.
$84.19.
I half remembered that, and you were like, "Holy shit, that is actually an excessive amount of money for fucking DLCs, dude, that aren't even that good." From what I've seen,
there's a Star Wars DLC, Journey to Batuu.
and I was like, "That looks like shit. I would not play that." Yeah.
Is there like a pets? Okay, cats and dogs. That would be like the only DLC, and the DLC for pets is $40.
$20K for all
What
the
the
DLCs.
fuck? There's a Pet Lovers bundle for $49.67.
Fucking fine, no, dude.
Why is it so
EA likes to milk everything
expensive?
for money. That's why Paralyze
It's
is
so
the thing.
crazy.
Now, we were also asked about Skull and Bones. Now, from what I've seen, Skull and Bones has like it has all the like ship stuff from Black Flag.
So, but
Yeah,
you
so it's
can't you can't like board other ships and stuff. You know
That's
that
so
they
fucking
were
dumb,
they
because
were
the
like
bots-
legally obligated to make this game, right? They announced it like so many years ago, and it went like under the radar for like so many years that I think where Ubisoft was located at, they were like, you need to make this game, otherwise you're gonna have to pay like X amount of money. And one of the things on Google is Skull and Bones worth getting.
Yeah, but
They
also
had to
like,
release it because
you
they
look at
borrowed
Skull
money
and Bones,
for
you're
it.
like,
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
they kind of dropped the ball because they dropped out the cool stuff from Black Flag. Because because like the cool stuff in Black Flag, right? You could also get off and like board a ship, and like part of it was just like the whole thing of just being a pirate, not the naval combat itself. Because
Yeah.
if I'm honest, they just became really repetitive. It was really cool to do the stuff like shoot a ship and then like jump on the ship. That was cool.
But now it's just like I saw gameplay of it. You just like destroy the ship and it does like a little cutscene of like ship looted, and then you just go back to sailing away.
And then like
there's like no,
yeah,
you
Sea of
can't
Thieves,
like go
Sea of
on the
Thieves is
ship
just
at all.
the better version of that. 'Cause you could play Sea of Thieves. You like run around. It actually feels like you're a pirate. 'Cause
Yeah.
You like actively control all bits of the ship. You have to like leave and run and find stuff. I don't know why you'd pick something over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for popping
Hey,
by.
Candy
saying
Opals,
hi.
what's up? Welcome to the podcast. Let's see. I guess I want to ask what makes you think someone would play Skull and Bones over Sea of Thieves.
I don't
Is Skull
know.
and Bones multiplayer?
If it is, it's really. It's got too many cutscenes. I rate to be multiplayer.
Because
Okay.
oh, there is a
was wrong.
multiplayer mode for Skull and Bones. Wait, hold on. Skull and Bones. It seems more multiplayer than single player. It's not an MMO, and it's just a worse Sea of Thieves. Someone on
It was
Reddit
trying
says.
to be. It was trying to like take the cool mechanics of Black Flag.
Skull
From
and
what I
Bones.
remember when it was first announced, it was trying to take like all the cool mechanics from Black Flag and turn them into like a game about pirates without the like baggage of Assassin's Creed. And I think the game would have probably, a lot of people would be way more hyped for the game if it was just like Black Flag without the assassins. So you're just like full on pirates. There's no like weird assassin sub story. You're just like being a fucking pirate, dude. I reckon the game would have, like, a lot more people would be really fucking hyped for it.
Yeah.
Because
28% like this video game on Google users. That's
yeah.
I would say play not Skull and Bones, Sea of Thieves, because Sea of Thieves is like
Yeah, 10.
like on what season X. I don't know how. It's been around for a long time. It has like a bunch of content and stuff. So
Yeah.
Skull and Bones, like I think, just
Yeah.
came out this year.
I think Sea of
February?
Thieves is way better.
So
You get more money for your game. You get to have like a better game.
yeah.
It just looks better. It looks more fun. Everything about it for Sea of Thieves is more fun. I've played some Sea of Thieves. There's cool, fun shit involved in it as well. So I'm like, I don't know why you would pick Skull and Bones over Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves is cool.
Plus, the one good thing about Sea of Thieves is they have. I remember this plainly because it happened after the whole Amber Heard Johnny Depp stuff. They got
Jack Sparrow.
they got Johnny Depp to do
Yeah, that was cool.
his character. Yeah,
I
Jack
actually
Sparrow
played
in
that.
Sea of Thieves.
No,
I don't know-
think
I
it was an
don't-
event for
I don't
that
know if it was like a
season, and it
limited
was
time
really
thing.
cool. I remember playing
But-
it. It was really fun. Also,
hmm And I
Yeah,
know that they did
which are both great,
a
like,
Monkey
ideas for
Island
it. That's so
event
cool.
too.
Also, Black Flag. Yeah. Skull and Bones would have done
Mhm.
better in 2016. Oh, dinner. Sorry, Lindy is just
Yeah,
giving me
definitely.
my food, and it's like, I think I nailed the pasta.
if Black Flag came out like around if Skull and Bones came out around Black Flag, yeah, back then there was like a lot of hype around like pirate games. With Black Flag, like kind of
They popularized it.
what's the word for it? Like leading, like yeah, popularizing it and leading like the assaults, or not the assault, like the revolution
But, like,
of pirate games.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, it's a little hard to speak sometimes, but I think
but I
it
also
definitely
think-
would have
but
had a better
yeah,
chance if
like
it
Lyle
came out
says, it
around
did
then.
have a lot less. Like Skull and Bones has so much less than Black Flag, to the point of it's like, you want to play a realistic looking pirate? Go play Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Like, you'll have more fun.
I also feel like games back then weren't like so online focused, like release the game bare bones and then do patches and updates to slowly add to the game, where the game would have been like fully completed at launch back then.
Yeah, but it's
because
also
like game
completely
development
fucked at this point,
so
like,
much different now
It's ruined
than it
like
was
all the
back
cool
then.
stuff that used to get in games. Like, I remember when Mass Effect came out, right? I'm just bringing this up because that's like the first game I can think of where it like came out. Full game. There is DLC for Mass Effect 1, but if you never get it and you never play it, you're like not really missing anything.
Yeah.
It adds some levels to the game. Like, you can level up your character a bit more, and there's some like weird side quests you can do, but they're not that relevant, and you don't feel like you missed anything if you don't have them.
I mean, there is like one
That's true, and
DLC
that
for
does,
Mass Effect 1
like,
that
affect
involves
the
the
other games.
Batarians. And that and that yeah, that does affect
But
like
like, if you
story
never play
stuff
it, it really
with
doesn't
2
matter
and
that
3.
much.
Like one like thing that comes to mind is like Fallout 3. It had like DLC stuff. Like it had the Pit, Point Lookout, Mothership Zeta, that just took you to different maps and had its own like story to tell, and didn't really affect much of like the main story outside of Broken
Also,
Steel,
Lindy
which is like an
reminded me,
expansion
so
to the story.
Stardew Valley was made by like one guy, right? This is going back a bit in the conversation, but it was a guy named Eric Barone, and he's also he goes by the online name of Concerned Ape. This dude made Stardew Valley like by himself,
Concerned Ape.
and he made a game that's so much better than fucking Blue Harvest. It is a really good game. And on the topic of Ubisoft, For Honor, I haven't played For Honor. I kind of want to.
I have. For Honor is fun. I played a lot of the Centurion. I think I bought For Honor. I didn't play it on launch. I think I played the beta, and then I just stopped. I didn't play it when it launched. But then I got it when they did like the Chinese characters. I forgot like the expansion. I think it was Marching Fire. I bought it then on digitally, and I just got access to a bunch of like DLC characters. But I really enjoyed playing it. It was really fun. It's basically you just you're like 1v1ing other players.
That sounds fun.
Or you're doing like team deathmatch and stuff on different kind of maps. You can like feint attacks. You can block attack, counter, parry, stuff like that.
That actually sounds.
It's all
fun,
like
but,
player versus player focused.
It also sounds like, because of how long the game's been out, it's got like a solid player base, and like joining's hard because you're gonna just join with a bunch of people who know what the fuck they're doing, and you're just gonna get completely annihilated. It's like trying to join Apex.
Yeah, that's true. For Honor came out in 2016, and it's still getting updates to this day. Valk main myself. Yeah, Valkyrie looks cool. Valkyrie in that game, I think, had like a spear and a shield. I have to look it up because I haven't played it in like so long. Yeah, like spear and shield. She was cool. Let's see. Back then, though, they liked day one DLC that just cut out content and sell back to you.
Final
I
Fantasy
can't remember
15.
a lot of games that really did that. I know that there was like day one editions.
I will say
of
that
games.
the only game I can think of that came out recently that doesn't have DLC and like all the perks you kind of get from getting pre-releases are kind of negligible. Where it really doesn't matter. Would be stuff like Jedi Survivor, where it was badly optimized to start, but that was an optimization issue where they didn't add any content to it. If you bought it like day one or you bought it now, the content's still all there. Final Fantasy 15 just wouldn't have been released.
Was
That's
just
14.
incomplete. Was FF15 the online one, or is that 14? God, there's so many fucking Final Fantasy games. Let me see, FF15. Was that the one with the Noctis? Oh yeah, that's the one with Noctis. I played a little bit of that one. Didn't really get into it
Clive.
all that much. I did play the one with
Final
Clive
Fantasy
though.
Name I've ever heard.
That one was cool.
What's your
Rossfield?
fantasy character's name? Clive. His name is fucking
Dude,
Clive.
don't be talking shit about Clive. He's awesome.
He's still just
Yeah,
named
16.
Clive. Not
What's
exactly
wrong with
fantasy,
the
is
name
it?
Clive? Dedicated devs for real, Concerned Ape released Stardew Valley in 2015 and gave us a major update a few months ago while he's already working on Haunted Chocolatier. I love devs that care like that. Yeah, that's true. I really love devs that continue to support their games until either they run out of ideas to support it, or they just
sometimes
they
like
just
it's
get
just
burnt
like
out
it's finished.
after providing so much content. One game that really, one game that comes to mind
Wasn't
is
it
No
a
Man's
disaster?
Sky. Remember how that game launched, and how how shit that game was, and then they made gradual updates to it, and then it eventually came out like perfect. Like I remember like one Game Awards where there was an award category for best supported game, and the dude from the No Man's Sky like director, he was like drinking a thing of wine, and they announced his name, and he was caught off guard because he didn't expect to win. So No Man's Sky is definitely one of the games that comes to mind when they were talking about like developer supported. It didn't have a good launch, but after a while they kind of reconciled that.
Who the fuck is Mervin?
Better than Mervin. I don't. What is Mervin?
RE9. RE9 is just gonna follow. It's gonna follow Rose from RE8, and it's literally just gonna be like, cool. We're not gonna play as a character with fucking superpowers now. We have gone off the deep end, and it's gonna go super powered main character. But somehow it's gonna be.
I've seen you playing a lot of Resident Evil. What are your thoughts and theories on Resident Evil 9? I have heard leaks that Resident Evil 9 is going to be like Leon focused.
That's his fourth fucking game. He doesn't need another game.
I don't know how I don't know how reputable that leak is. But
Leon doesn't need another game.
Leon will be the protagonist for the entirety of the game, according to the leaks. Someone I just like Googled it and like reading like a Reddit thread. Someone said old man Leon, and then someone replied, "Fuck yes, Backstreet Boy hair, but it's silver." And someone else replied, "Leon on his way to becoming Dante."
When they finally let the series rest, Leon's gonna run around with a big fucking sword for no reason. It's just gonna change to that. The way things ended with Ethan was interesting.
Yeah, it was pretty good. He had like a whole was it like a trilogy of games?
So he had 7 and 8. He died at the end of 8?
2 games? Okay.
Actually, no, he technically died at the beginning of 7. He died at the beginning of 7 and became like a fucking moss
he
guy,
didn't
man.
he didn't technically die in 8
course.
because in the DLC he comes
Yeah,
back
but he doesn't
as like
properly come back.
part of the Mega Mycete thing. Ethan, how do you? Oh, okay, yeah. I think the things with Ethan ended really nicely. I didn't expect him to be like so like dad focused
having
and like
different protagonist who
family
wasn't just like
focused.
military man.
But yeah,
Like Chris, I'm mocking. He was
yeah,
just
he was like your like run of the mill dude, like like in in the what was it 7? I think 7, right? That's when he came out. Yeah, 7. He was
His
like
wife.
your average Joe dude coming to look for his girlfriend. His girlfriend slash wife. One thing I loved about that one was just
like,
how crazy everything was, and he was just taking it in strides. Like the amount of times he had to go against Jack Baker, and that whole boss fight when you were fighting him with the chainsaws and you
it would
beat
have
him.
been so
He's
funny
like,
if
"Stay
he
dead
like,
this
panicked. He
time."
was just like, please stay dead. I have killed you 4 times. God damn, please. That fucking the
Yeah.
dad in RE7 was goddamn annoying to kill because he kept coming back and he kept trying to kill you and you kill him. You hit him with a car. The bastard gets up and comes at you again. You're like,
Yeah,
stay fucking dead.
yeah.
And you're like,
And then he gets on the car
and
and,
then you,
takes
like,
you for a ride. I'm
you
gonna
blow
take
his
you
head
for
off,
a
he gets up and
ride,
starts eating,
Ethan.
you're like, this bitch must die. I was so angry with
Yeah.
this fucking boss battle. It took me forever to beat it. But I got tilted playing that fucking thing. Yeah, I played all of it.
Did you play the DLC for that one?
Shut up, liar.
For
Yeah,
7,
I
the
played it.
one where you play as
play
the
uncle. You could just
uncle.
beat the shit out of
the
enemies.
brother?
I have it. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, dude,
Wait,
that DLC
Lyle,
was
what the fuck do you
so
mean?
fun.
Which family made
I
it?
love
made
I
you
love
scream?
that
I'm not telling
DLC.
you which family member made me scream.
Let me guess, it was the mom, right? When she turned into like the
that's
giant
not what made us.
fly lady with like the belly full
That's
of
not what
like,
startled
flies
me.
and stuff.
It was her appearing through a window when I was walking up the stairs. And just like, I'm coming! It was like,
Oh
fuck
yeah,
off. Right in my face.
that part. And she had like the elongated arms and legs. He looked like a what like a
I will say
super
this
crazy
though, Party
like,
Rock,
horror
1 did get a
movie
remake.
villain.
Well, I can't remember if it was a remake or a remaster. 1 has had one, it just hasn't had like the
Oh yeah.
recent version of a remake where it's kind of like fully HD and loses tank controls.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
Resident Evil and then Resident Evil 1 remake, which came out on the GameCube. That was like the remake that everyone really loves. I'm hoping they remake Resident Evil 1
I honestly,
without tank controls
because
I hate tank controls. I can
remake
go on
it,
and on
keep
about how
tank
much I hate
controls,
tank
and then
controls.
we need to bully Chris into playing it because it would be fucking hilarious to watch him lose his mind trying to beat it.
One was a remaster. I'm talking about an Unreal Engine remake. Sure, yeah. If they could go down the road like RE2 remake, RE3 remake, RE4 remake.
The reason I
that would be down
consider
for that.
one
Yeah,
to be
definitely.
a remake instead of a remaster is the fact that they redubbed all the audio, and that's
it's a completely like different
It
game
was
with
just-
like different graphics, different audio, different models,
yeah, it
and
was a
everything.
complete remake because it was.
I would
the
consider
only
that
reason
like a complete
people are like,
remake.
it's a remaster. It's because it's so fucking old that it doesn't look like what we would consider a remake. Because to our mind, something like a remake would be something like like fucking Kiwami 1 and 2. Those are remakes. Those are straight up remakes, you know. And those play so much better than the original.
Yeah.
Original games, to the point of if you play the Yakuza games, sorry, this is completely unrelated tangent, but like I can't let go of this tangent. If you play Kiwami 1 and 2, right? Those are where you start. You play 0, 1, 2, and then Kiwami 1 and 2, right? You'll get to 3 and be like, I can't play this fucking game. None of this shit works properly. Kiryu runs like a complete degenerate. He looks like he's made out of cubes. What have they fucking done to my boy? They've butchered my boy. And then it's Block City.
It's funny because Resident Evil, or not Resident Evil, Yakuza 3 is like my favorite of the Yakuza games. And I see so many people
Yes.
hating on it because they call it
They really do.
Blockuza 3 because all the enemies just block unrelenting, like all the time. But I love it because of the story of the game. And how it's crazy how you look at Yakuza 3 and then you go to like you haven't
Not
played you haven't played Like a Dragon Gaiden or Infinite Wealth, but Yakuza 3 is such an integral part of those two games because they sow the seeds of Kiryu having an orphanage and having kids that he loves and he wants to go back to.
I will say,
But since he
I will
faked
say
his
this,
death in
right?
6, he can't go back to them anymore.
I've never played RE1, so my entire existence to be like, if they remade it, would be like, cool, I'll try this. It'll look pretty. But I know the community will shit a brick because they'll be like, they've touched my baby. What have they done to my baby, bastards? And I'll be like, shim.
Yeah. I would say to that statement, I know the community says that one is too iconic and shouldn't be touched. I don't agree at all. I played Resident Evil 1 Remake when I was
What do you mean?
really young.
Lindy, what do
Because
you
I had a
mean?
GameCube back then and I played it. But just like people's tastes change and the game industry changes. If like we saw with RE2 Remake and how well that did, and so many people love that game, it would only seem like logical if they remade the first one with like current graphics and like current gameplay and stuff like that. Yeah, to me, I don't look to the community for how I should view games. I just look to myself. Say they remade Resident Evil 4, and I played Resident Evil 4, the original. I love the original Resident Evil 4. But like being able to move and shoot and stuff like that, that's really good. And AC can attest to this. When we played Resident Evil 5, he hated that you couldn't move and shoot.
Bad. The fact that you have to stand there, there's a guy with a chainsaw running at you, right? And you're like, okay, I need to kill this guy.
I like it.
I'm going to plant my feet, stand still, and wait for him to hit me while I try to aim at him. But my fucking aim is also dog shit, so I'm going to fucking miss him while he walks at me with a chainsaw. And then fucking chainsaws both my arms off and shoves them down my throat. Yeah, fucking loving him. Shut the fuck up, liar.
You see, I look at it this way. You know how like old games didn't really have subtitles, but then like slowly subtitles got introduced, and now it's like basically a norm. I would think of it kind of like that, where like current gaming standards with like moving and shooting, no more tank controls, stuff like that. If basically new gaming standards were applied to like old games, that looks fine to me. That's like they're remaking Dead Rising, the first one, and they're adding like a whole new slew of like gameplay quality of life stuff, like being able to move and shoot, stuff like that. As long as they keep like the original feel of like Resident Evil 1, but they apply like certain quality of life enhancements to make the game more enjoyable to play and not like tearing your hair out.
I would also
then
be cool
I don't
with
mind
the
at
tank
all.
controls, because it would be cool to have a game that plays differently to everything else that we're used to playing. Because like take Resident Evil, they all kind of play the same now. And that's part of why 7 and 8 was like such a breath of fresh air and breathed new life back into a completely different. Holy
'cause
shit!
it's first-person shooter.
The first Hitman game was so fucking. The controls
Yeah.
were so fucking bad. Holy shit! So I played that on stream. Just say I streamed playing Resident Evil. Not Resident Evil. Hitman 1, very first game ever. Controls make no fucking sense. There's like. You can't. The original settings for the controls are like, you can't turn or strafe sideways. So you'll strafe sideways with A and D, which is weird, kind of, because Q and E make you run in diagonals, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? And then trying to run So your instinct in normal games nowadays is you hold sprint, right? Sprint. No, not this game. You tap it.
Yeah.
So it's like tap shift to sprint, but like because you're so used to it, it makes it so hard to play. And the aiming systems. Lyle, you don't even get how bad it is. It's bad.
So Lyle brought up The Last of Us, and The Last of Us, the original and Part 1 are the same game. They're the same game, but they remade it with current graphics, like Last of Us Part 2 graphics. They sold that as a remake. I would kind of agree the name convention should be as a remake because it looks completely different. I was just reminded
of something, right? So in Hitman 1, I just need to tell you this because it was this bad. So you know how normally your controls on a keyboard was side? So W to walk forwards, S to walk backwards, D right, S A left. Not Hitman.
Yeah?
No. To walk forwards, you press S.
What?
You press S to go forwards! What the fuck?
It's so stupid. Can you remap the controls?
I had to because I couldn't play otherwise. It would have driven me insane.
Here's like a big one. Did you have to go in the INI file to remap the controls, or could you do it in like the in-game options?
It was annoying.
Okay, that's good. I hate games that require you to open up the folder, go in like the notepad, and like change stuff around. Well, just do it in the options. It's so much easier. Because then you go into like, oh, how do I change like the controls? Oh, you can't in the options. Then you go Google. Then you have to look up a video or like an article or like a Reddit post or something. You have to go through all this information searching just to find a basic option that should be in the options,
if you want to talk about
not.
People remaking games ad infinitum and it's crap, Skyrim. Because Bethesda is milking Skyrim to the point of like they've got Skyrim VR. Skyrim VR,
Skyrim PS5, Skyrim Special Edition, Skyrim Anniversary.
Like, this is a graphical upgrade, and then you look at it and you're like, you bitch, I could get an easy upgrade on this just by going and fucking modding my game. I could get base Skyrim to look better than this.
Yeah. Dude, like, speaking of, like, Skyrim and Bethesda and stuff, you remember when the Fallout TV show came out, and Fallout, they updated Fallout 4, and, like, it ended up breaking a bunch of PC mods, and, also, like, Fallout London had to get delayed.
I loved Skyrim. That was, like, one of the first big RPG games I played through. I can't play it anymore.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know, I've tried opening it up and playing it, and I'm just like, meh. It's fine. Meh. I like can't even get into it. It's really, really annoying.
Speaking of Skyrim again, I've been wanting to like play it, but getting like some mods that change entirely how the gameplay is to make it more like Dark Souls.
I would play Skyrim again
if we could
have more of that stuff. And I do need to get back into Dragon's Dogma. That you got a point there. Probably next week I might actually do some playing of it. I've just ended up in a schedule where it's like, well, Wednesdays are write-offs because it's Halo, then Fallout, then Resi 6. I'm like, huh. And it's going to be Halo for the almost indefinite future because there's 5 games we have to finish. There's at least 5 games, and that's
many
excluding
games.
Halo 5. Because according to the people who like Halo, my friend who loves Halo and like that's his fucking jam, he was like, don't bother with 5. 5 is a piece of shit. Like, ignore it that it exists.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, cool.
That's the one where
I
you play as a
fucking
Spartan
don't
trying
know.
to hunt down Master Chief,
Might be.
right?
Let me look it up. Let me look up what 5 is
Is that
about.
Guardians?
Yep, Guardians.
Yeah,
First
Halo
person
5
shooter.
Guardians.
This is the one where. So. Oh, it was great. Oh, everything says it's got good.
Yeah, I saw that it has like a 81%.
And then
Google
audience
users
reviews.
like this game. A
The
7
campaign
out of 10
sucks.
on IMDb for some reason.
Franchise-killing disaster.
Oh yeah,
Bruh, nobody likes it.
3.3 stars. Or
Dude.
3 out of 5.
What the fuck? There's people who are like shitting on it because they're like, they fucked up the
What?
law. What the
About
fuck
Resident-
is
or
going
not-
on?
Halo
I'm like,
5.
Oh no.
Oh yeah,
Halo is
Star
so bad.
Wars.
Star Wars. No, I'm not even talking about Star. I'm talking about Halo 5. Apparently that fucked up the law of Halo, which apparently has ironclad law that fans know. And I'm like, I don't know anything. What? There's law. I just think game go boom. Yeah, I heard the story for 5 was lousy as well. That's what all the reviews shit on. They're like,
Yeah,
the story was crap. Like, it was bad. You should not play it because the story is bad. I'm like, okay.
speaking of Halo, actually, 343 Industries has been downsized considerably. Upcoming Halo titles to be largely outsourced, according to
You're gonna have to
Twisted
hold
Voxel
conversation around me,
article.
Chris, for a minute. I need to run to the bathroom or I'm gonna explode. I'll be right back.
All right. I'll just stay here and talk. Lyle said good. So what's going on, guys? How are you guys doing? People in the stream. I'm not even gonna pause my recording on Audacity because that's too much of a hassle. But how's everyone doing? How's everyone's Thursday? I had to look up. I had to look at my bottom right of my PC to see what day it was because the days just go by so quickly. I look at my phone and it's like, oh, it's Monday, and then I look back and it's Friday. Yeah, it's Thursday, Lau. Currently, it is gonna be 2 p.m. over here. I have no idea what time it is over there in AC Africa land. Oh man, well, I will say it's hot as fuck over here. Like yesterday, it was like, or Wednesday, it was like 90 something Fahrenheit. It's 9 p.m. I thought it's Monday. No wonder AC is like, oh, I gotta go to bed around this time. It's already 9 p.m. over there. Crazy. Doing good. Chewy's clicker training is going well. Oh, that's good. The clicker training is like when he does something good, you click the thing to reinforce the good behavior, right? And you give him a treat. Also, shout out to... Hold on, No! I didn't mean to pin that comment. Unpin this message. Shout out to Party Rock for giving us some topics to discuss. I don't know if you're still here, but thank you. It's really nice. 9 p.m. Doing good. Wait, Africa's behind us in time? Wait, what time is it over there where you're at, Party Rock? Yeah, they should be. That's like ahead. I mean, you could technically look at it as behind too. If you want to look at time that way. Currently, Africa is 7 hours ahead of us. It's currently 2 right now. Yeah, clicker equals treat. I'm using it to enforce wind down and calm behavior. Chris, I'm a single state north of you, or north. Yeah. God, time zones are so dumb. Why can't we just have like a singular time zone? I was talking about this with I think Garo one day. Like, why don't we just have like a universal time? I mean, there is like UTC, which stands for Universal Time. But like, still so crazy. Okay, let's see what else is on the docket real quick. Ooh, the Fallout show. Nice. Can't wait for that. And then me and AC are going to talk about Acolyte and Boys Finale. Now Weast? Weast. Yeah, sounds like an alternative to yeast. It's okay, blew my mind when I realized San Antonio is in winter right now. Wait, San Antonio or South Africa? Oh, right, no, South Africa. Yeah, it's summer. What am I doing? I'm stupid. Yeah, AC kept on talking about how cold it is over there sometimes. And I'm like, it's Africa. It's supposed to be super hot. But I'm guessing the days are hot, but like the nights are like super cold. Kind of like how like the desert is like super hot, but it's like freezing cold during the night. It's not winter where I'm at though, sweating like crazy. Well, shit. Hope you have a good fan and some working AC. Sometimes it's crazy how important an AC is, especially when it gets super hot or super cold. Crazy to think that some people don't even have AC. When it's like so integral to not freeze to death. Oh god, that reminds me when Texas got hit by the by like a freeze happened like a couple years ago. See, in Texas our power grid is like all like one it's all together. So like when we got hit by the freeze, it completely fucked over some people and didn't really screw over some other people. There was a couple people that I followed like online, like Rooster Teeth people, that they never got like power for like weeks, and they had to like some of their pipes froze in their house because of how cold it was. It was crazy. One dude I remember, he had to go to his friend's house that had running water and the pipes weren't frozen, and he basically had to like get water from them because how how the pipes froze. Rooster Teeth is in Texas. It was in Texas. It closed down. I don't know if you heard. Rooster Teeth is no more. I think it. Yeah, but it is in Texas. It's in Houston or Austin. I can't remember. But yeah. Ruby got bought by Viz Media, so I think they're gonna continue it, or at least air the episodes there. I think Ruby got bought by Viz Media. Let me see. Because it was up in the air about what was gonna happen to like their properties and stuff. Wikipedia. Let's see. Franchises and spin-offs. Let's see. Good old Google. Ruby bots. Yeah, Ruby is acquired by Viz Media. Now the Ruby is sold to Viz Media. Okay. So thankfully, it's still hopefully getting, it's still being continued. I'm still waiting on Death Battle, man. Death Battle's been silent for like months after the closure. I hope Death Battle continues. There's a bunch of like There's a bunch of shows that I did watch from not Death Battle, from Rooster Teeth. I watched Death Battle. I listened to Fuckface Podcast, which is now the Regulation Podcast. I watched or listened to Anma. So Alright. That's a good one. What else? I used to listen to the Rooster Teeth podcast. I listened to the Rooster Teeth podcast until they switched it over to some other people. I listened to like a couple of the episodes of like the new people when they revamped it, but it just wasn't the same without Gus or Barbara or Gavin, honestly. I'm guessing you didn't see my earlier comment. Have you watched or plan to watch The Boys? Yeah, I'm fully caught up on The Boys. In fact, me and AC watched the new episode of The Boys before stream earlier, when he before he had to go climbing and stuff. We plan on talking about it. So if you don't want to listen to it, you can just go ahead and mute. But that's like towards the end of the podcast today. They think they said that it'll continue. I haven't watched Death Battle in ages though. Dude, Death Battle's so good. You really need to watch it. I could pull up their YouTube right now and list off like the Death Battle episodes that they've done. Let's see, Death Battle. Nope. Let's see. That's just a bunch of fights animated.
Entire body just decided.
Unless it's just the fights.
Well, fuck you. Holy shit. That went through.
Let's see. I'm talking a lot
and like them going
about
under
Death Battle, about Rooster Teeth and stuff.
They
did.
And the fact they did.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we talked about them going under where they were located, and Lyle said he hasn't watched Death Battle in ages, and I was gonna read out like the Death Battles that they did. They did Galactus versus Unicron. That was their last one before Death Battle and Rooster Teeth shut down. They did Goku versus Superman, which is like the third one that they've done between those two.
The Doctor won.
They did Rick Sanchez versus the Doctor, from Doctor Who. Yeah.
Who won that one?
They did Scooby-Doo versus Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Who won this?
They did Gojo versus Makima. It was a tie. They did Frieza versus Megatron, Cole McGrath versus Alex Mercer, Discord versus Bill Cipher, Martian Manhunter versus Silver Surfer.
I'm not gonna lie, I know this is old.
Guts versus Dimitri. That was
my
good
favorite one was still Kakashi versus Obi-Wan.
What?
And Obi-Wan won, and I was
Obi-Wan,
like,
yeah, that one was a good one.
Not gonna lie, that's not the result I was expecting, but I'm happy.
Yeah, me neither, dude. Like, fucking Naruto ninjas are crazy. They peaked with Sega de Sancho versus Chuck Norris. That was a good one, too. Let me know beforehand. I have to watch the new episode when I get home. Yeah, no worries. We'll give you a proper spoiler warning before we talk about Acolyte and then The Boys. We had a cold front here 2 weeks ago. Temperatures were below 50 during the day and sub-freezing some nights.
It's good now. It is
not good in
Although
African
if you're down
land.
in Cape Town, it's fucking freezing down in Cape Town because it's like pissing with rain apparently and cold.
Courage should have won. I mean, it was a pretty equal fight. I think they made a joke about it that they didn't want to show a dog getting killed in that episode.
That was Deadpool won, but entirely because he just broke.
I think Deadpool won that
like
one.
Broke reality. It was like, yes, I win.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I
thought he was gonna say Discord versus Reddit.
What the fuck?
Let's see. They did Phoenix versus Raven.
I think Vader won.
Darth Vader versus Obito Uchiha.
I think he won it. I think he won it because dimensional.
No, Obito won that one. That one was crazy.
And Vader almost won.
Yeah. Stitch versus...
Didn't Stitch win?
Stitch versus Rocket Raccoon. That one was a good one. Killua versus Misaka. And one was my favorite. Skyrim versus Dark Souls. The Dragonborn versus Chosen Undead.
Makes sense.
Dragonborn.
Like, Chosen Undead fights more insane enemies.
That one was super good.
The Dragonborn can just, shout and use insane magic.
Mm-hmm. Dude, it's crazy. And they put like the combatants at their strongest. So like the Chosen Undead has access to every single spell, like level 99 in all stats, and like the Dragonborn has access to every single shout, every single ability, and I think they just like put like their most famous armor on. So like the Dark Souls gets like the regular armor,
yes,
and then the Dragonborn has like
the armor, it's the
bandit armor
and the
like leather armor,
iron helmet. Such a weird fucking combination of things.
Yeah, like the yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've gone there in like
weather in Durban, not
middle
even
of June,
in the dead of winter.
when it's like the coldest in South Africa, 27 degrees Celsius, which is like, for you that would be like, if your winters were just constantly high 80s. If your whole winter was just in the 80s, I think I don't know what weather in Texas is like.
Wait.
Oh, you see, there you go.
Like right now, it's 81 degrees Fahrenheit. 82. Feels like 85.
So you can still go outside the t-shirt.
That's what my weather app says.
Well, no. Oh wait, no. You're in the middle of summer.
Yeah.
I'm dumb.
Yeah.
In the middle of your winter, what's your weather like in winter?
You forget. Ooh. I think as low as like 70, 80, maybe?
In winter?
Maybe 60 in like the mornings. I'd have to actually look it up. Coldest
That was like 2 years ago when it snowed.
In Texas. The coldest winter in Texas history was during the Great Blizzard of 1899, where it dropped below 0 degrees Fahrenheit in every state. How cold did it get in Texas in 2024? In 2024, wind chill values in the Texas were up to 20 degrees below zero. Whoa.
It didn't go. It went way colder.
Like when I went out of Texas to like Wisconsin to go visit Garo, the coldest that it got over there was like 60, 70.
When I
and
was
like
in
the
Colorado,
hottest it got was like 80,
hot the whole
which
time.
is nice.
I've gone surfing, yes.
In Colorado?
Like, yeah, I've been to Colorado, and we were in the middle of summer, but I think it was like 30 degrees the entire fucking time we were there. Celsius, to be clear. 30 degrees Celsius, probably like 90 Fahrenheit. I don't know. Well, I think 30 was the coldest it went Celsius.
30 Celsius to Fahrenheit. 30 degrees Celsius would be 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay. In the winter, average here is probably 45. Sorry, I switched models. In the winter, average here is probably 45 to 50.
Yes, this is the reaction I need.
This is me whenever I have to listen to AC complain about Resident Evil 5. This is me when I hear news about Marvel vs. Capcom coming back. And here's just me, my regular talking posts.
Nothing. Don't even worry about it. It's all good.
What? That was when I was a child and my mom's B-Day was in the June holiday. Super cooler temps.
Yeah.
Eat you if that's the coldest. Okay, let's get back to what's on the docket, because we have very little that's on the docket, and before we get to talking about Acolyte and then the boys. So, Genshin Impact gets called out for lack of cultural appropriation in latest
I heard
Natland
about
teaser.
it, but I also thought it was incredibly stupid.
Have you heard about
Because
this?
I'm like, I feel like it was just a really pale Asian character. Because, like, especially in places like Japan, where they find paler skin more beautiful. Like, that's just one of the, like, beauty standards of the culture, right? They will, like, avoid sun tanning and stuff, which is also why they kind of gained a weird culture of, like, their counterculture was people who just got really fucking tanned and, like, bleached their hair. That was their counterculture. It's super weird. The Garo.
Yeah,
Garu.
What is it? The guy.
But, like, it was because the beauty standard was black hair, pale skin. So the counter version of that was tan skin, blonde hair, which is like the American standard. It was so dumb.
So, fans, voice actors, and creators criticized lack of cultural appreciation in the latest Genshin Impact Natland teaser. Someone on Twitter wrote, Olu Run is a supreme Yoruba deity, and they posted 2 pictures. One of what the deity looks like in Smite, which is they take a bunch of gods from various faiths and myths and put them in a fighting game. Not like a fighting game, but like in a MOBA game. And then they... It's so white! They put the character in Genshin side to side.
The way I see it, I'm like...
It's weird.
It could also just be a different interpretation of the same fucking characters. Like, eh.
I mean, that's
also,
true, but why not just have
because the
have
character's
like a
not
black
meant
character
to be within the context of that world and shit. Of like the world of Genshin. Also, it's really funny, Lyle. You're defending Genshin, and that shit's funny. It's also it's also
inspired by areas not based on it, and it's made up regions in game. I hate that they have me defending Genshin since I hate the game. Well, if that's the case, why not just
the other thing is,
make it
I
a
think
whole
it's
new
a Chinese deity. I could be entirely wrong, but if it's a Chinese deity, then it's like the Chinese are making the game, and the Chinese also don't give a shit. Like, why would they? They're the Chinese. As far as I can tell, they seem to just be like, we just do whatever the fuck, and everyone else has to deal with it. We've got all the people and a fuck ton of the money.
Okay, so I just googled it. Olurun. In Yoruba culture, Olurun is credited with creating the universe and all living things. And
wait, couldn't also
Pantheon.
gods like change their shape and face?
on.
Because I know that's a thing in Greek myths. Like Zeus could take on any form. He could just shapeshift into like a fucking pig or something. And you're like,
yeah,
you're gonna be angry that Zeus is, or that a god is not black. It's like, it's a god. They will take whatever form they fucking want, including not being the thing you think they should be. But also, I think Lyle has a point.
Yoruba land. What's that? Let me see. Most people are just talking out their ass though. They can't even stop playing the game. They're just crying because current banner characters doesn't interest them. I mean, I haven't played Genshin in like years, so I don't really have room to talk about like how the banner characters. I mean, I really like Zenless Zone Zero that they're making right now,
so most of the
because the
player
gameplay is much
population
more
is
interesting to me.
In China or in on the continent of Asia in general, and it's like, so it won't change shit. No one will give a fuck.
But would the Chinese player base really get angry if there's
Probably
like
not.
suddenly
I
like a black
doubt they care,
character?
but it's also like the devs probably also just wouldn't occur to them. If there's a Chinese dev team and they're trying to make it, it just would not even occur to them to do this, some of the stuff that they're claiming. Oh yeah, also China has the same beauty standards as Japan, so like
Let's see, what
that
else does
tracks
this
that they
article
would
say?
make God be pale.
Yeah, I remember Black Panther. I remember they took out T'Challa's like face in some of the like the posters for that got released over there in China. But they still showed the movie, and it had like a black. They didn't like go in editing and like what's the movie?
Oh no, but I think
White
I think
girls,
Lyle's
the
more referring
black
to the fact
characters,
that
right?
In Black Panther, it doesn't feel African. But yeah, also, like the reason I say Finn was sidelined, but I'm also
Oh yeah, I remember that.
to
that-
Africans, it doesn't feel that like, it doesn't feel that authentic because it's not made. It's like if you wrote a story that took place in China, right? Have you ever been to China? Have you ever like been in China?
Mhm.
Yeah. For the sake of this example, so you've never been to China.
Have
right?
I ever been in China personally?
Could you imagine writing an entire
No.
story there? Yeah. And like,
If I've never been there? Yeah, I would have to make stuff up, yeah. Or at least like
yeah, but
do
like,
research about like what China
I
is
checked
like.
in, Lyle. I've seen it. I'm looking at this graph and that's fucking funny, dude.
Oh wow, I'm looking more at this article. There's like a whole like 2,000 signatures on this change.org petition. Stop whitewashing. Hold on, let me pull up the petition.
It's
Stop
super funny
cultural
that they're doing
appropriation
that
and whitewashing in
because they're doing
MiHoYo
a
games.
boycott on a game, right? That 90% of the player base. Yeah, it's gonna do sweet fuck all.
Damn, there's 80,000 signatures.
It's going to be completely ignored because, especially from this
Yeah, let's see.
graph that Lyle sent me, I'm looking at the picture. I'm like, yeah, any complaints made by anyone not in China? Yeah, that's also a good question. Is it whitewashing? So the Genshin player distribution by region, right? The biggest portion of players is in Japan, followed by South Korea,
Mhm.
and the distribution is so fucking unbalanced to like Americans being holy shit, America's not even on the fucking list. It's not even.
Well, right now I'm looking at this picture. They have Maori, Quechua, Aztec, Hawaiian, Native American, Mayan, Nigerian, Aztec characters, but they're just like white and then light a little bit tan. Even the Native American just doesn't look
Also,
Native American.
Go for it. Although
Yeah,
I will say,
s-
so Lindy's
I'll send
comments
this to you
about
if you want to look at it.
native speakers in South Africa hearing people try and speak Xhosa in the Black Panther movies, they were all just like, this sounds like ass. What the fuck? This doesn't sound like Xhosa. It sounds like its own fucking thing. It's so funny. Like, okay, there was like two actors. Well, one actor who sounded perfect when he was speaking Xhosa. And that was John... Yes. And that was John Carney. Do you know why
Black
he sounded
Panther?
perfect? Because it's his first language. He's like, it was
Why?
his first language. He's the only character. So the King T'Chaka was the only character who sounded like he was speaking also correctly. Everyone else like had a really heavy, weird accent, according to native speakers. Because I also asked my friends who are native speakers of Xhosa, and they're all like, no, it sounds weird. It sounds strange. It doesn't sound quite right. It's like that thing where if in Yakuza games, right, where you have a Japanese voice actor speaking English, and it just doesn't sound like English. Like, it doesn't sound like English to us who are native speakers. We like listen to it, we're like, what part of America does this fucker grow up in? Shinjuku? The fuck?
Now, since you said Yakuza, there's like a specific part in like a Dragon where there's a Japanese character, and he's like speaking English for like like an American that's in Japan, and he's like looking.
I remember
he's asking
that.
Ichiban like, "Can you tell me how to get to the station?" And Ichiban doesn't know any English, and then the dude just comes out of nowhere. Go righto. Then take
like,
lefto. Go your
You
way.
hear it and you're like,
Believe yourself.
that man sounds goddamn terrifying.
That was funny.
Is so fucking hilarious.
And then if you play it in the English dub, which is even funnier, Ichiban says, "Oh, it's English," and then he looks at the camera and like nods, and like the English dude that was normally speaking English is like, he's saying it all slowly and stupid,
That just makes Ichiban look
and
like such
Ichiban just can't
fucking
understand him.
muppet. It's glorious. He is a complete moron.
I mean, he can be a muppet at
I've been-
times.
I've gotten several hours into it, and Ichiban is not the brightest candle in the shed. Like, this man, he's dumb. Ichiban is dumb, and he's significantly dumber than, say, Kiryu, who is objectively a clever character.
Yeah, definitely.
No, he's like...
I wouldn't say Kiryu is like super smart.
He's like
I would say
smart,
he's not.
but also
he's not like an idiot. He's
he
like
does sometimes do his
semi-intelligent.
orchestrating thing.
Yeah.
Say,
Yeah, especially when it comes to sub stories. That's when he loses a couple IQ points. Like, there's a couple I can think. Like, remember in Yakuza 0 where he's doing the BDSM side quest, the sub story, and then the kids come by and like they're asking like, "Whoa, why you dressed like that, lady?" And then you gotta explain, or you gotta tell the lady like keep on in character. That's what a real
so
BDSM lady would do. But yeah, final thing I'll say on it, if they're gonna take inspiration from different cultures, just by name, and that's fine, but if they do like story stuff with it, they should at least try to make it a little bit
that's fair. Wait, Lindy, what do
appropriate
you
to
mean
the culture.
there's a Tokyo Mew Mew episode where they have a foreign girl speak English and people... What? Is it that bad? Wait, hold up.
What's
the
Tokyo
fuck
Mew
up.
Mew?
You're a VTuber. Do you enjoy anime? Do you watch a lot of anime?
Yes.
How do you not know what Tokyo Mew Mew is? It's part of anime
Sometimes.
history.
Let me look this up.
No.
Wow, it's just a cat girl. Okay.
Do you know
Like
what?
there's
Do you know what?
not like a
Do you know
lot
what
of.
Mew Mew powers is?
It's not like there's a lot of
Okay,
cat
you
girls.
know why Tokyo Mew Mew is important, right?
No.
Because it ran contemporary with Sailor Moon.
No.
Like, it was the alternate show. Yeah, but like, okay, so you...
Oh, see, I know Sailor
yeah,
Moon.
you're losing subs here, Chris. What have you done? Just another...
Oh, I'm losing subscriber just because I don't know what a specific anime was that happened before I was fucking born. Oh, okay.
Before you're born.
Okay,
Oh, no,
dude.
You're not that... It was not that old, man. I was born in 97.
Dude, I was born in 97.
Bruh, I'm not that old. You're not that old.
Okay.
It's also getting remade. It's getting a remake. It is getting a remake.
Okay, you're asking way too much. Okay. I only have a set amount of time because I have a full-time job. Okay, AC. I have a full-time job. I only get 2 days off. I work 9 to 5. I come home. I only have like a couple hours to myself. I play games, and then I go to sleep, and I do it all over again. You cannot expect someone to watch every single piece of anime that's ever existed. That's like asking someone to watch every single episode of One Piece when it's over 1,000 episodes.
Also, I'm hearing nothing but excuses because it was airing in the early 2000s. When you were a kid, when you were the target demographic, it was on TV. When you definitely had a TV. You're an American. Everyone has a TV.
I remember watching Inuyasha because it was on Adult Swim. Okay, was Tokyo Mew Mew ever on Adult Swim?
Shit on Adult Swim. I watched it on like DVDs and shit.
I remember
Bobo was hilarious.
Bobo, and I remember
it was probably on Toonami.
Was it on Toonami? Hold on, let me see. Tokyo. Oh wait, let's just. I don't remember this. I've never seen this. Okay, all right. That's like asking Kaiju someone, "Hey, have you ever heard of Kaiju number 9?" I'm like, no, I haven't. Or whatever, fucking Kaiju number 11. I don't care.
I have triggered the salt.
I'm getting salty because you're getting on me about something that
I know,
that's so stupid to get on me about.
It's not even it's
super obscure, at least to me. Okay, I'm gonna look up. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna get you on some shit right now. Let's see how you like it. Okay, have you ever seen? Yes. Let's see. You ever seen Eden of the East? What about?
Yes. Pretty good.
Midori Days. Okay.
You want to know the
Let's
most
see. What's the most
anime
obscure anime you know of? Thank you,
It's
Reddit. Let's see.
fucking obscure. Yeah, I've seen Boku no.
Bokurano.
I've heard of it, yeah.
Have you heard of Big O?
The amount of obscure shit I know. You do need to finish Midori Days.
Bubblegum Crash. Bubblegum Crash.
Ooh, that's an interesting one.
No? Angel Cop? Police
I've
Files?
seen Wicked City. It's pretty good.
Wicked
Have you
City?
seen Redline? That's a fucking wild ass anime. It's just a movie though, but it's fucking wild, dude.
No.
See, I've seen an obscene amount of things, Chris.
Okay,
I was a film student, right?
Look,
Do you know what kind of homework I used to get for class when I was in college? It was basically watch shit. Yeah, I have.
Yeah, AC, have you seen Rocket Power? Have you seen Rocket Power? Have you seen...
Yeah.
What other
Bro,
Nickelodeon
who hasn't seen
shows
Hey
that-
Arnold?
Have you seen Hey Arnold? Cap.
Yes, the most popular
You've probably
anime
already...
of all time.
You've probably seen SpongeBob, obviously. The
Yeah,
Simpsons.
I grew up watching that shit. It was...
Let's see, have you seen Rugrats?
Yeah. Yep.
Jimmy Neutron?
Yeah.
Blue's Clues?
Demented
Lazy
fucking
Town?
characters in Lazy Town.
Uh...
Yeah, that is... I need to watch that again. That was
Rocco's Modern Life? Cat...
I forgot about fucking Cat Dog.
Cat Dog?
It's such a demented fucking series. Dude, half cat, half dog. Where does it shit? Where does the cat dog shit? Please tell me. How does it shit?
Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
Tokyo Mew Mew release date April 6, 2002.
You would have been 5, Chris.
See, I would have been 1, 2, 97, 98. I was not watching TV at 5.
Flapjack was like...
At least I don't think so. Yeah, have you seen Flapjack?
Flapjack, flapjack, flapjack.
Have you?
At this point. Oh, that actually.
The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack? What about... What was it?
I do remember Camp Laszlo. That was a
Camp
weird...
Laszlo.
Do you remember
that one?
the what was it called? There was a weird series about a dude and his giant red bulldog. No, it wasn't Clifford. It was like
You
more
mean
for like
Clifford the
slightly
Big Red?
older
Oh, no,
kids.
that's not.
So
No.
Clifford's for like really little kids, right? The show I'm thinking of, Chowder. Yes, I think it's Chowder. Let me Google it.
Chowder didn't have a big red dog. What? I remember Chowder. I don't think he ever had a big red dog.
Oh no. Oh, I do know Chowder. No, it wasn't Chowder. I was thinking of something else.
Chowder Mendoza.
It might have been a fever dream at this point. I'm not sure.
Fat Dog Mendoza.
Hmm.
That was a show. Follows a smart mouth dog who's incredibly obese. Okay. How 2 seasons.
I'm googling.
Was
like,
this
what?
here? I'll send an image to you.
Lyle, why did you watch the show? That's definitely the fucking show. I recognize that dog. What the fuck? That sounds like a weird show.
Okay, what were we doing on the docket? Before we got sidelined about you getting on me about not watching a.
No, I'm
a
not
dumb
talking
Tokyo
about the dog
Mew
from Tom
show?
and Jerry. That's just a bulldog. No, I was talking about Fat Dog Mendoza. Yes! It was Fat Dog Mendoza. I swear it was on Cartoon Network when I was a kid. And it was a weird fucking show. I just remember it being like a fever dream to watch. In fact, I remember it as like a fever dream.
God, there's a lot of shows that.
Hmm?
Oh, what is wrong with your mic?
Did you get like a lot of feedback?
Ah,
Shit.
your mic was just like, yeah. What was I talking about?
Yes.
Chowder was cool. You watched Johnny Bravo?
I miss Johnny Bravo. I want to watch it again.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Okay, fine. I'll give you a show so you can.
God,
The Grim Adventures
what
of
other
I
shows?
love The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Those are Grim
Billy and
was
Mandy.
like my favorite character the whole time. I
Yeah,
was watching
Billy and
that show.
Mandy is
I
so
loved
good.
Ed and Eddie.
Mhm.
I loved it. I watched so much stuff.
Ed, Ed, and Eddie, yeah.
Wait, seriously? Johnny Bravo is still going on in India. Actually, no, that makes sense. The
you-
vibe kind of fits Indian weird stuff. Yes, I do remember Cow and Chicken. Why was so many of the shit?
Ooh, Cow
so
and
many of the
Chicken,
shows
yeah,
we watched as
yeah,
kids
yeah.
like fucking fever dreams. What the shit? Cow and Chicken was another one.
I don't know.
No, it was the story.
Maybe it was because
like,
the animation
Cow and Chicken,
style.
remember,
maybe?
had like a random fat devil
'Cause
character. And like the parents didn't have top halves.
Yeah.
And like he was like weirdly obscenely gay, and I have no idea what the fuck was going on with that show. Dexter's Laboratory was good. Dexter was good. Both Dexter and Dexter's Laboratory were good.
Dexter's Laboratory, yeah, that was good. What
I have seen Ren
about
and
you've
Stimpy.
seen
Not all of
you've
it.
seen Ren and
some of it.
Stimpy?
It was No, I haven't. seen
Robot
that one.
Boy?
Yeah, see, you found one. Yeah, go on.
You haven't seen Robot Boy? Oh, that's a good one. That one had a hot mom character. Here, I'll send you a picture.
Making. Oh, Cat Dog is
Robot
like,
Boy mom.
bruh, they're always insane.
There. I sent him a
Actually,
picture of the
dude,
mom, and
this-
he can guess why I like her so much.
That looks familiar. You see, I'm pretty sure you like her for the same reason you like Mrs. Incredible.
Okay.
What for Elastigirl.
Yes. Oh yeah, the one episode with Cow and Chick and the female bikers just go around eating rugs.
I forgot Cow and Chicken was.
Could never get into Robot Boy. There was one show that I remember watching that it was like Power Rangers, but there were monkeys. I forgot the name of it. Monkey Power Rangers. It was
Okay,
Super
did you watch
Robot
My
Monkey
Kids
Team
Next-
Hyperforce
what was
Go.
it? Kids Next Door. Yeah. Why did
Kids
people
Next Door?
like thick goth
Yeah.
girls? Oh, Sheva.
I-
Sheva. No, Sheva. Shigo.
Impossible.
Okay, I confused two
Sheva,
two fat asses.
Shigo.
Okay? Shh.
Dude, Total Drama Island, Shigo. There was a
That was
bunch of like
goth character.
fucking sweet goth characters. I think those are the reasons why I turned out really like goth girls.
I did see Code
Yes,
Lyoko.
I've seen Code
It was
Lyoko.
weird
That
because
was,
it was a
an
fucking
awesome
French
show.
I did Scottish Lord. I did watch Tom and Jerry. I watched a lot of it. I watched it the like 50s version all the way to like the one from the late 2000s. I haven't watched any recently though.
Mm.
That was a terrible
They
Scottish
made a
accent.
Tom and Jerry movie
He's always the
recently.
French. It's
where it's
always
like,
your people, lad.
um,
He's always your people. That's not a great accent.
What was it? It was like Robert. It was like Roger Rabbit style, where they had like Tom and Jerry being animated
sure
and
that
some
that
other
wasn't
animated
like,
characters interacting with like real
Looney
world
Tunes back in
people.
action?
No, that's a movie that I loved watching when I was little. It's an entirely different thing.
Because
It was actually it was like
they
Looney
had,
Tunes
they had a
back in
section
action.
because Looney Tunes back in action had a
That
section
whole
where they
like
like
format.
walked through a cafeteria that had like Matthew Lillard getting shat on by Shaggy, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's even funnier when you're like,
yeah. You made me look like a total space
you know what
cadet,
makes it
man.
even funny?
And like Scooby just like growls and bites at him. I
Dude.
wanted to be true to your character. If they,
You know what made it
goof
even
on me in the
funnier?
sequel, I'm
at the
coming
time,
after
Matthew
you,
Lillard
man.
was the voice of Shaggy.
What? Yeah. Well, no.
Yeah,
it was because of the live action movies that they brought him. They
That's
brought
true,
him
but,
into
like,
the cartoons
so
and
he got
made him the voice
Shaggy,
of
but he
Shaggy.
was the voice of Shaggy when they did that like whole bit in the Looney Tunes movie. So it's basically Matthew Lillard shitting on himself.
No,
you sure?
it was
Okay, I'm googling this.
it was Casey Kasem.
I would have been because that was just afterwards.
Yeah, it should have been.
This, what the fuck, Fat Dog Mendoza? This is the fucking show.
Yeah, Casey Kasem was in Looney Tunes back in action. He voiced
It's
the
still
original
funny.
Shaggy.
It's still hilarious. Oh. I zoned out for a second there.
It was supposed to be. It was because it was supposed to be like the old school,
Yeah.
old school Scooby Doo.
Sing themes. Not yet.
No, Casey
years
Kasem
later.
wasn't dead at that point. I think he died. Let me see. Casey Kasem.
And I mean, Matthew Lillard was
Dead.
so
Oh,
good as
it was
Shaggy.
autocomplete.
If you played the stuff where he took over from the original voice actor, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Yeah.
Matthew Lillard took
Casey
over
Kasem
long
died in
before that,
2014.
because I know he was. Because he was.
I don't think so. When did Matthew Lillard start voicing Shaggy? Stupid autocomplete. Start voicing Shaggy. Let's see. Casey Kasem retired from the role in 2009, and
Fun. So
that's
Shaggy
when
is
Lillard became the
vegetarian
official voice.
because Casey Kasem demanded it. But like, I swear I've seen him eat ham.
Yeah, yeah.
And like,
Yeah, those like super tall sandwiches him and Scooby make. There's always like I always remember seeing lettuce, but I always remember seeing ham and stuff. Maybe it's like tofu or something. Maggie Nation, loved as a kid. Vegan ham spam.
Magi Nation.
Maggie Nation.
Oh, imagination. That makes sense.
Oh, Maggie Nation. You know, it kind of reminded me of like another show that they made based on like card
Veggie
games.
ham in the like 80s.
card game
Lyle,
show.
what the fuck you talking? Spam. Of course it's fucking spam. Spam, 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 spam. Why do you hate that I put it?
Oh, it's called Chaotic.
Why?
It was on 4Kids.
Why do you hate it that I put it?
Yeah, that was the one I was thinking about. Chaotic.
What did I do? Imagination. Imagination. Imaginations.
Imagination connection.
Don't hug me, I'm scared.
I think that's the thing. I don't know. Okay.
They will eventually.
I hope they make another one soon. I think. Wait, actually, I think it already passed like July 14th or something. Oh no, June 19th is the thing that's in Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared.
Interesting.
Also, next month, hopefully on June 19th, they'll do something.
Okay. What else did we have in the docket?
Or sorry, last month. That was last month was June. Amazon's Fallout show has received 16 nominations. I honestly can't agree more because the Fallout show was amazing.
16? I mean,
it got 16 Emmy nominations.
Smiled. I don't even know what Smile
Yep.
is. So, probably not.
Oh, that one? It's like a horror.
I mean,
it's like a horror movie.
I'm not big on horror, just in general.
I never saw the first one, so probably not. Yeah, he gets scared too much. But I can't wait for Fallout Season 2. You know, when the show came out, so many people went back to the games. Like, I think at one point the Fallout 76 game had like 1 million people playing. Yeah,
Resident
he gets
Evil is
scared
not
too
scary.
easily, but he
Well,
plays Resident Evil.
The ones we've been playing are not scary at all. They're fucking hilarious, dude. Resident Evil 6 is like a weird action game where you
Resident
have
Evil
zombies
6 is
that are
like...
kind of annoying. And in our last game, just have giant tits. Yes. We were so sad.
Oh
when
yeah,
she
Tits
died.
McGee. She was awesome.
My God, I don't know what that was, but no, that happened.
Hold on, let me look at my TikTok because the clip I posted today about you getting molested by the dogs. Let's see how many people viewed it.
It's still slow.
206.
I mean, it's a start.
Damn. Well, seven
I really need to start
people
posting more
liked it.
Twitch clips. I'm just so stupidly lazy. I have to just edit them and put them up. But I need to finish. Yeah.
Here, I'll send.
Lyle,
I'll put a link in chat.
You mustn't
so you
miss
guys
our
could
fucking Ari streams.
watch.
They are deranged, to say the least. The level of derangement just it just gets worse and worse every single time we play.
Yeah. Like we had to fight a giant like shark fish. And the first thing that came to AC's mind was talking
The
was
giant
tentacles,
shark had tentacles
because he's
coming
seen a lot
out
of
of its
hentai.
mouth, and the first person it went for was the woman. What the fuck did you want me to think? It attacked me with tentacles. What did you expect me to do?
Okay. Those three things or really two things. That's all that was on the docket for today. Now it's time to get into the Acolyte.
How?
Woke Wars is at it again.
How?
I'll say that. Having strong independent women as lead roles, I can't believe it. It's not what George Lucas would have wanted.
You do love your rage bait, don't you?
It's not a part of his vision. It's funny that what I said is that some people do believe it.
I will say though that OSHA has a weird flip-flop effect.
It's absolutely moronic.
You're like, spoilers.
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting that. Okay,
Spoiler warning.
sorry. Spoiler warning. Spoiler warning for Star Wars Acolyte.
Spoiler warning.
Get out now.
Go.
Get out now. SpongeBob.
That was a stupid fucking bit that just okay.
It started because I had to wipe my nose because it was a little bit greasy.
So
I just kept talking.
like okay, so
yeah, spoiler
Acolyte
warning
was
for
weird
Star Wars
because-
Acolyte. Go away now or just mute.
So OSHA and May, they had a thing, right, where they're technically one person, but they don't do anything with this fucking idea. I don't know, that bothers me, but I've been thinking about it all day, and I'm like, they didn't use the idea that they're technically one person at all in the show. They keep calling them sisters, and then like the characters act like separate people. And I'm like, you guys could have done interesting things where they.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
separate
it's also weird.
people, but one soul. So one goes to the
swap.
Jedi, one goes to the Sith, but at the end
But it's also
they
like-
reverse.
I watched it and I
yeah,
went,
they swap.
there's a better way to have done what you wanted to do. Why did you do it this way? Why?
Honestly, I was kind of I was okay with how it ended.
May just...
OSHA turning to the dark side.
Oh no, I
and,
like that. I mean, I didn't like that Soul died because he was my favorite character,
and killing
the most
Soul.
interesting character in the show. But I was also like, no, I get why he died. That I was cool with. But I was also sitting there and being like, your heel turn is so fast. You like went full dark side so fucking fast. Like, no, I know why.
Well, you know
like,
why.
No, I know what
you
the
know
show
why,
says
right?
is the reason why, right? But that doesn't.
Well, it's because Soul was
That's
lying
true.
to her by
That's true, but
not
it's also
telling
like,
her the truth of what
he
happened
because
this
of
whole
how
time.
their relationship worked. He was like a father figure to her, right? Growing up, which kind of gives you the impression of she didn't really care about him at all, and there was a thing with where she acts like she has this big connection with him. There's a whole thing where like they have this big connection, and then she just like turns on him like that, and I'm like, there should have been a bit more agonizing about it, or it should have been something where maybe it was just the way it was acted didn't sell it to me enough, because she just doesn't seem like I still feel like.
Well, I find it fully believable that she just ended up killing him right then and there, because her whole life training under him and then leaving the Jedi Order,
they do kind of explain.
He never told her what actually happened. Like he kills her mom accidentally because her turning into a giant smoke monster looked crazy, and then him choosing to save her instead of saving them both.
That I feel like made her like turn a bit too abrupt. Where like, yeah, sure, he did lie to her for years, and like he did do shitty things. Like he was wrong in what he did. Saul was wrong in his choices. I won't argue that, but what I felt was kind of lacking with Osha's turn to Quimera is that her turn to the stranger was that it doesn't feel like they connected really well. So, or they kind of rushed that connection between Osha and the stranger becoming something where they like he could tempt her into the
Yeah.
darkness. That felt super rushed. So it felt like they rushed it. They wanted that connection too fast for the time they had, and I'm like, you guys should have at least if you wanted that, then you should have You should have done the killing Jedi stuff a bit earlier and had them together for longer. Like those characters should have interacted more to have her like slowly fall, so that you can kind of see maybe the doubt, because it's like she turns like that and then is instantly like bleeding crystals, where in all the other media where they show bleeding crystals, the character's already turned, right? And in this show, they kind of use it as a shorthand to go, oh, she's evil now. So I kind of get with the visuals of the lightsaber going red.
Well, I didn't get that at all. What I got was that
Yeah,
she was
that-
feeling really strong emotions that were bleeding into the crystal. Now, I'm not much of a Star Wars nerd as much as AC is, but I remember seeing
Jedi Survivor.
bleeding crystal
Yeah.
in
But the
Jedi Survivor game,
yeah,
where
but
the
see,
guy comes out of the
that's what I'm
tank and
saying.
immediately like bleeds a crystal. But I did look it up though after it happened, that you basically you're pouring out all like
Yeah.
the negative like strong emotions into the crystal to corrupt it, because
Yeah.
the crystals are naturally attuned to the light side of the Force. So you're basically
But,
flooding
like,
it with the dark
part
side
of
energy
what
to turn them
bothered
red.
me about that was in the Vader comics, right? In the I believe it's the 2020 run of the Vader comics. It shows how Vader
Mhm.
got his red crystal, right, for his lightsaber, and the crystal he got fought him. It fought back on going red. So and then Osha just like kind of doing it led me going, that bothers me. And they also do stuff where, like, there's context to how Saul killed Osha's mother, right? Where it feels like they should have
Mhm.
included more context to it, because, or at least let Osha know more context, because May just saying, killed our mother, right? I feel like with Osha being so for the Jedi for, like, the whole series, and then just this weird turn, it felt abrupt to me, because it didn't feel like a track. It felt like she just went, "Weep, I'm back. I'm going dark side now." And it's like, you don't give me the fucking impression that you struggle with any of these things you're telling me you struggle with. Because there's a scene earlier on where she says, "I struggle to deal with my negative emotions and let go of them." I'm like, motherfucker, since we met you, you've just been a normal, like, friendly person who keeps trying to help everyone around them. And when you're a kid, you're shown to, like, have a fascination with the Jedi and the light. And then at this last episode, you're like, I've been angry and shit. I'm like, bitch, what the fuck are you talking about? You've shown none of this. Why? They should have at least had her have, like, outbursts of rage. Or, like, something just to kind of show that, right?
Well, I remember her having like when it came to May, she always had the negative emotions with May, and then Sol always told her that, oh, May killed your parents and like the rest of the witches with the fire, so she always had the negative emotions tied to that. But then she learns like, oh, that's not true.
But
Sol actually killed your mom.
But the
And
fire
May just made the fire because she was a dumb little kid.
Yeah,
but the
Lindy, you have
Jedi
a point.
actually ended up killing the witches. So
That's
everything
true.
everything she's known has been a lie. She gets the truth bomb on her out of nowhere, and she's been blaming her sister this whole time, when it was actually the Jedi's fault. Obviously, she'd go to the Sith, because the Jedi are, like, from her perspective, and rightfully so. Like,
We
when
still
it comes
don't
to,
know
like,
what
Kamir
actually
and her-
happened.
like his master, what happened. She's just willing to. She's willing to sweep the whole thing and blame it on Sol, because
This is true, but
she doesn't want the Jedi to get
the
affected
reason
as a whole.
I have problems with it. Well, my biggest problems with the heel turn of Osha going right is the fact that she's willing to listen, and you also it shows earlier in the show that Saul is still supportive of her, even though she couldn't be a Jedi, and they would like when they meet again, he tells her things like where she reacts like he's judging her for not liking the tattoo she gets, right? And he literally goes, it's not for me to like or not like, it's your choice. So he keeps doing things where it's like he is actually supportive, he is actually being kind, and they're showing this character who actively is trying. He does make a lot of choices from a selfish point of view, right? But he also does a bunch of things where it's like,
Yeah.
why are you so like all of the stuff he kind of does in the last 2 episodes feels out of character for him, and it feels like this weird. Well, okay, the last 3 episodes. Because episode 7 I don't count as feeling out of character because that's younger version of him, right? Version who's drawn to this person, really wants this Padawan, and he's trying to force things to be the way he wants them to be. And I'm like, youth, people who are young tend to do stupid shit like that. I've done shit like that. People who are young do dumb shit like that. But like all the Soul feels like he goes against it because they do a lot of things where it shows that Soul regrets what he did. He sits there and he keeps a hollow of Osha where I feel like it's reminding him, I made this mistake, I need to fix this thing that I did with this person, and I need to live up to fixing this mistake I made. And in the end he's just like, no, fuck, I did the right thing the whole time. I'm like, that doesn't feel right to his character and how you guys have built him up till this point. He feels like he's now just randomly like so defensive of himself that it doesn't feel natural to the character. Because before that he feels like he's actually accountable for stuff. He talks like he feels accountable for things. And he also tells Osha he's going to tell her the truth. He's going to tell her himself. He was already ready to tell her to the point of when May tried to force him, he was willing. He just said it because he was already at a place where he was trying to tell the truth.
Do you think he would have told her the truth if May never came back? You think he would have just told her the truth on his own if none of the stuff in the story happened? Or do you think he would have just went on and like the rest of the Jedi would have went on with what happened?
On that point, I do think he just never would have told anyone. But I think it would have been a case of he can't explain why he did anything, because everything that would give reason to it, or he would have felt that anything he could give reason for is just lost, so he wouldn't bother. But it would also be, he would feel like Osha's left the Jedi and she's at peace, or at least she seems to be at peace where she is now. But I still feel like, Lindy, you see? Surprise, Osha's evil now. Just, I don't know, it still bothers me. I feel like her thing was too quick, and like she was too ready to kill Saul. Like, kill him. I get being angry at a 16-year-old lie and having that hurt, but also, I feel like someone like that wouldn't be able to straight up kill someone who was their father figure. You know what I mean?
I don't know about that, man.
That's
this
true,
is a really
but
big,
I've had
really big
big lies that are pretty big revealed to me in my life, right? I didn't want to kill anyone. I did want to like lose contact with people, but like.
Well, I mean, because you're.
That's true.
Well, you're not like an
but
actual
I still
like Jedi and like a
but also, okay, think about this as well.
In this situation,
the way Osha's characterized leading up to this point, she doesn't give the feeling of a character who could kill people. Like the way she kills Saul. Yes, I do. Not.
Make her evil for a redemption arc in season 2. I think they talked about not having a season 2 in mind, and given how
the way season 1 ends is on 3 really separate cliffhangers. So the first cliffhanger being Plagueis just fucking vibing there. Then then Venestra.
Yeah. But it doesn't end with. It doesn't end with like. It doesn't end with Plagueis like coming out to talk to Khmer like. I've been talking with this guy named.
No, I mean, if it was at this,
Sidious,
given when it is, this would have been when Plagueis was still an apprentice. This would have taken place when he was still the apprentice to Darth Tenebrae. But the main thing I would have an issue with, right? Because the series, the reason I bring up Plagueis is because it's kind of like, for some reason, the Acolyte ends giving you this impression that Khmer has nothing to do with Plagueis. He is there and he is following Sith teachings, but he is not. He's not a Sith. He just follows the dark side, and he wanted someone to teach what he has learned to. Right? Plagueis is part of the actual lineage of the true Sith that end with Palpatine / Sidious, and. The way that Plagueis and the Sith at that time would probably show up would be to be politicians and bankers who just talk, which gives the impression that the senator that you see earlier, that motherfucker, might actually have something to do with the Sith. The one who is constantly pushing to like control the Jedi and make them follow and get this like review on the Jedi. That guy. Yeah.
Well, no, I don't think that's what the dude's plan was. I think from what was shown to us, he's just saying that
he doesn't
Jedi shouldn't have as much power as they should, and they're an army masquerading as like a religion. That's what he says. He says that the Jedi should be more accountable, and he really gets on Venestra's ass because there's been like murders and the Senate hasn't been told about them. I think he's just trying to keep the Jedi in check. Otherwise, they turn into like a massive.
Not how the Jedi have been. Also, Lyle, Darth Plagueis in the original novel, that everybody who like claims they love Plagueis and the old Sith, they quote this book. Plagueis was straight up just a banker. He was like a big banker, and the bank, like it was a really big bank, but he was just straight up a banker. Palpatine was a politician, which is just as fucking boring. But like, when it comes to the guy wanting to control the Jedi, half the thing is you don't get the impression the Jedi actually have that much power. Like the show doesn't give me the impression that the Jedi have unchecked power. They're just kind of following their own thing. And like calls them out, and I'm seeing the tweet you're sending now, and I'm like, he calls them out on flaws that they have in episode 1 and 2, but they don't really show that they have within the space of the Acolyte. It's really so their flaws are like thinking they're above the law, right?
You could just like circle back to
where the idea of the Jedi is they aren't.
Yes.
They're a separate entity from the Republic. They're not supposed to be under the Republic. They're supposed to just follow the will of the Force, right? They're kind of like having a Buddhist monk temple that can go and actually help people, right? They can go and stop. Say you've got pirates coming. They can go stop the pirates, and that's kind of all they really did before then. By the time of the High Republic books, which is 100 years before Acolyte, right? In the time of those books, they are what they're supposed to be. They're like mostly like adventurers and like healers, and then there's a few who are just straight up scholars. They just go and learn shit. They don't really care to try and take power or lead armies. They're just sort of there, and they're like in The Witcher, the Mage Council, that everyone just kind of listens to their advice but doesn't have to do what they say. That's kind of what the Jedi do. They're just sort of there as advisors and nothing more.
There we go.
I mean,
but that's the Jedi after the Senate has done what this guy is talking about.
As generals.
So where the where this guy has now put them under the yoke of what the Republic wants them to be, right? They end up having to answer to the Republic and answer to the Chancellor and do what they tell them to do. So that's how they end up leading armies and how they fall and how Palpatine is able to destroy them.
Okay, his name was Senator Rayencourt. I was trying to look up like the scenes he was in just to see, because I literally saw it yesterday, but I forgot the scene, so we can like look at it and see. When it comes to,
I can also just pull up the scene because I have it
says.
here. Also, Lindy brought up a point to me. Her message is apparently just not fucking sending for some reason, but that it would be cool to have Osha and May. That Osha's fall was all because of May's feelings, right? Which is a thing that they kind of push within the narrative, that May is kind of the impulsive, angry one, right? Not Osha. And then...
Yeah. I mean, she starts the
so,
fire.
like, it makes sense for it to be...
want Osha to leave.
That May's influence is why Osha turns, right? So... She keeps because they're supposed to be the same person, that she keeps having these flashes of May's voice in her head, urging her to do it. And because they're the same person, it's kind of more May's urge than Osha's. So then you have that would be an interesting dynamic and reason for the fall is kind of May has already fallen. No, I was too.
Sorry,
but like,
what were you saying?
It's interesting to have more May be the driving force between why Osha falls into the darkness, as opposed to just like falling and being like, time to kill. And you're like, what the fuck? So it's an odd one, like having. Yeah. This message should send. It's interesting.
So the clip I'm watching right now is Senator Rayencourt talking to Vernestra. He says, "I've heard some disturbing things that you're running a murder investigation without reporting it to the Senate, and she's deciding to keep it internal. And she has the authority to take independent action if there's no larger threat." And then the senator is like, "How can you know that there is no larger threat?" And then she's like, "All the victims were Jedi." And he's like, "There are multiple victims?" And he's like, "Is the suspect a Jedi?"
She's dodging his
she's
questions.
like, "It's very close." And eventually at the end, I forget, they take a vote. They take a vote at the Senate.
They vote to...
I forget what happens.
Actually, you know, control the Jedi. Also, the season ends with Vernestra going and talking to Master Yoda. And I'm like, well, you don't hear Yoda or see... You kind of just see the back of his head. And I want to say this cameo slightly annoyed me as well, because it has... No, it wasn't the white hair. Yoda's always been old. Fucking...
The white hair?
It was more...
We don't know how old,
we do, Chris,
though, right?
He's 900 when he dies. He's 900 when he dies.
It breaks the canon, AC.
Which means
it breaks the
that
canon.
at this time he would be like 800 and something.
It breaks the canon. Lucas would have never wanted that. Breaks the canon. Ki-Adi-Mundi should not have been
Shouldn't have been
young.
in this. You think
should
so,
not have
Chris?
been in
Do you
this.
really think so? So, what is Ki-Adi-Mundi to you? What do you think of this character? He's a dickhead with 9 wives.
I don't know. He's just some background Jedi character. It's like,
You mean
the
Imagandi?
Jedi? I'm gonna die, and then he dies.
Imagandi. Yes.
Yes, I'm gonna die.
Oh no,
literally
they
named
introduced
the
him and
Jedi,
killed
"I'm
him
gonna die and have
within
him die
10
in an
minutes of
episode."
introducing him.
Let's see. I'm reading on the discussion of the episode on the Star Wars Reddit. Senator Raincourt out
But he's
here
also casually out there
the whole
causing the
prequels.
prequels. Like, he's...
And someone replied, "It's funny because in the books the Jedi work hand in hand with the government. The Chancellor uses Yoda as an advisor at certain points. Really hope they keep
Also
exploring
kind
this
of want
era
to see the
show us
Jedi where they're not...
degradation of the
It's not
relationship."
following like a set of Jedi who all kind of fucked up and then just instantly died. It would be cool to see like just the Jedi being Jedi without this weird darkness over them. Basil,
Oh, I really liked
He
the
annoyed
little
me.
furry dude.
because he just like
Basil.
randomly sabotaged the Soul's ship, and I was sitting there like,
Why?
why did you do that? Soul Train is also hilarious.
Because
Why
he
not?
didn't wanna
Soul wasn't
die.
going to die. He just randomly decided to do it because it doesn't give the impression he didn't want to die. It gives more the impression he didn't want Soul to shoot someone.
It gave me the impression that he'd do anything to try to get May, and that includes going.
It wasn't an
driving his ship
asteroid
through
field
an
though.
asteroid
It was
field,
a planetary ring.
which May said that that's too dangerous.
No, it just had rocks. There's bits of. I
Oh, that
do
had
not know what's
asteroids
in
in it.
Saturn's rings.
What rocks? What? It doesn't matter. May literally says, "Oh, he won't do it. It's too dangerous. He won't get too close." And then he gets too close, and
But
then he
I'd
ends
also
up
say part of the
crashing
crash
ship.
was Basil just sabotaging his fucking ship.
Maybe he thought that
No, I
Soul
think
would
he
see
just-
that and fly.
what he
up
did
it
actually made
instead of
him,
going further down.
Like crash it, like killed his control over the ship. Yeah.
Well, Basil's an idiot then. Should we hate characters because they're idiots?
No,
Or
I
because
don't
they
think
do
you should.
dumb things?
I don't hate Basil as a character. I'm just like, that's really annoying. He was a brunette though. Yeah, he was a brunette
Who, Basil?
because he had brown fur. Duh.
Why do you call him a brunette? Dude, I saw some people saying that the dude that kept talking
Yeah.
to Vernestra, what if that was like Sidious
that-
when he was younger?
Yeah, Sidious just turned white.
It's funny.
Oh, he was getting older. Yeah, but they're talking about the senator.
Wasn't he always white though?
But yeah, also Basil made everything.
Oh.
Basil did nothing. No Yoda. Bruh. Yaddle was brunette.
I mean, he was a good
He was
tracker.
decent. Also, what did you think of the choreography of the series of the Acolyte? Like the dueling and stuff.
Oh, dude, I loved it. I loved it so much. The hand to hand fights.
The
were
lightsabers
good.
annoyed me.
I really loved
Like the
lightsaber
lightsabers
fights.
themselves irritated me. Because the handles
Oh,
were
God.
so goddamn fat
Why?
that I'm like,
Why?
they're trying to make us think that the Disney lightsabers you can buy at Disney World are what they should be, and they are wrong. Because lightsabers should fit in your hand nicely like a sword handle, right? I've never seen a sword handle that looks too big for the hands holding them. Like,
I could have sworn I saw someone
the
bring
two.
this up.
Vanestra's lightsaber looks way too fucking thick for her hands, and I don't understand why. Especially since in Ahsoka, they made her lightsabers like super skinny, and I was like, that's perfect.
Okay, why the lightsabers are so thick and what it means for the Star Wars canon.
I know.
For production reasons, lightsabers have changed considerably throughout the franchise's nearly 5 decades. Lightsaber props were much closer to swords than lightsabers Star Wars is known for today. And more difficult for the actors, they were evidently not the sturdiest. In fact, more often than not, When they came into contact with each other, they were damaged. Clearly, this didn't work well for battle sequences. Movies expanded the lightsaber colors.
Yeah. So
Props were made of steel and aluminum rods.
Ewan
This did
McGregor.
improve the durability.
Ewan.
Obi-Wan Kenobi
You
actor
put it in Ewan.
Ewan McGregor
Yeah.
spoken how quickly their
They would
sabers
bend
became
them,
bent
and then
in battle.
the fight coordinator Nick Gillard, he would take them in like the scaffolding under the set and just like bend them straight again. But they also used to have like a van full of or like they would, when they shot, say, episode 3, the duel at the end of episode 3, they used to have like a giant rolling set of drawers that was just filled with all the lightsaber hilts. With like full lightsabers, so they just swap them out between takes. But like,
Oh, Lindy, I'm pretty sure that's what Basil did. He was like really like when he fought May when he did like the kung fu moves and it completely obliterated May in hand-to-hand combat. That whole scene, that was just Basil catching on to that May wasn't OSHA.
I
I
don't
love
know, he
that.
annoyed me.
Basil's
But like,
so adorable.
mm,
I love him. Yeah, I really don't see an issue with the lightsabers being more fat. I mean, if it's
so
easier to work
the thing
with
is,
them during
it
like
doesn't actually make it
production and
easier
stuff, I don't really
during
see a problem
production.
with
What it does do, and why they're fat, like I know the production reason why they're fat in specifically these ones, right? It's because of the electronics they put inside to make them light up, so they can get like light on the actors' faces, right? And the reason I do see a problem with that,
I
right,
see a problem
is
with
because the lightsaber companies that I go to get like the prop lightsabers I have make them half as fat, and they're way more comfortable to hold. But they have they have higher quality electronics than the Disney ones for the productions of these films. Like, if you go to say, I don't know, Vader's Vault, right, which is an American lightsaber company, you will find they will sell the same sabers that they use in the show, but they'll be half as thick. They'll have better. They'll be screen accurate, but they'll also be like super durable, and they'll light up like really, really nicely. So they'll do like all the shit the movie ones do, and that these production companies go, oh no, they need to be like this because it's easier to build. It's like, no, you don't need to do that. You could buy like lightsaber cores that are super cheap from the guys who just do this because they love lightsabers and stuff, and you would have really cool looking props. And you'd have lightsabers that look like the type of things that characters would hold and use to fight, as opposed to something that looks so chunky that it's almost impractical to hold. But also, I did like the fact that in this last fight, there was a section with Cormier pulling Saul's lightsaber towards his Cortosis helmet. Like, using his helmet as like a point of contact.
Dude, you know, I really love the hallway fight scene that they had. And as soon as they flew off and they floated down, I knew.
It's weird
someone on
because
Twitter
I
was
just
gonna be
got
like, "Oh, this is like
Crouching
the worst
Tiger,
shit
Hidden
in Star Wars
Dragon
ever."
vibes from it. I was like, oh, it just became...
Yeah. And you know, I saw someone on Twitter when I was browsing the Acolyte tag, and I was like, they were like, oh, this shit is like fan film levels of bad. And they had the gif of them floating down to the ground. I'm like, oh my god. But I did. The one scene I really liked was when Saul
when Khmer like
and used
when Khmer like threw his lightsabers at him
to do like a force field around him. When
that was pretty cool.
Yeah. That was so cool. And I noticed a couple times in that fight where
he did
his,
like
lightsaber like an actual sword.
Yeah, he did.
When he was holding it like an actual
he
katana.
did straight up like katana
like
moves.
I
remember
that was so cool.
I'm rewatching the scene now, and I'm just like watching and going like,
what?
There's a bunch of stuff he does, and the like actual fight ends with like an old-fashioned samurai showdown where he like cuts the lightsaber. He breaks Kumiro's lightsaber and like cuts off the emitter. But like the way it's done kind of gives a vibe of, you know, those samurai movies where they like
Yeah.
both do an attack and then they like finish, they stop and they both stand there for a second.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
and they're standing.
It
and one
actually
person
had that
falls
feel
the
to it, and
ground, is,
I was
dead.
just like, that's so fucking
Oh,
cool.
I love those.
I love that shit. I mean, that's true, but like, there are some things that fans do better. I mean, in this case, I don't think
And some things that
there's a bunch
fans
of
do
things
worse.
that the fans do worse than this, and like, a lot of the storytelling I've seen in fan films, I've watched, and believe me, I've watched a lot of fan films. I've made a fan film. They're not that good. My Star Wars fan films are so fucking bad. Holy shit, they're bad. There are some fucking phenomenally made ones. I'm not gonna lie. There are some beautifully, fantastically well shot ones that look. You're just like, you watch and you're like, holy shit, this is Star Wars. And then you watch other ones.
Yeah.
Majority though are dog shit. Unfortunately, including the one I made. The one I made was fine. It was fine. It was the next one I'm going to make is going to be significantly better. I'm only talking bad about that one because the first time I released it, I fucked up and added and didn't remix the audio properly, so it was just sound like wind and it was
Yeah.
it hurts my soul. I did end up re-uploading a better version of it that has.
Here,
I remixed the audio. I fixed it so it's better, but the one I actually put forward to as a competition. Yeah, they're both. You can see the one that was for the competition.
both are still
for
like on
the
your channel,
Saber
right?
Comp, and the one that was just my disaster.
You know, it's actually really good that you say your fan film was shit, because I feel like some people think their work is like the best work ever, and they don't see the flaws.
I wouldn't say
in
it's
it
like
to make the
absolute
next
shit,
one
but I would
better.
say like it could be a lot better. There's things I wish I'd done in it that would improve it.
Yeah, you can see like the things like the audio obviously is going to be a priority in the next one you do, so it doesn't turn out like bad the first try. And there's probably certain things that you'll be doing better that you learned
Also,
in the process
I'm
of making
definitely
the
entering
first
this
one,
year.
right? Love Hammer has no flaws, exactly. I found that so dumb because imagine if some people told the prop creators to just go buy sabers from Saberforge
Yeah.
instead of whining that it's impossible to get better. They don't like being told they're wrong. So, Acolyte was good. I really hope that they make a second season, but I can completely understand if they don't.
I thought it was
What did you
interesting.
think about
I'm
Plagueis
not sure
showing
how I
up
feel
for that
about the
little
design because
cameo?
they've gone like really decrepit, evil-looking character. I'm like, I don't like it because it feels too much like they're leaning into the dark, evil Sith. When the Sith of that era kind of feel more like they should have been stealthy bankers. They're evil, but they're bankers, so no one really gives a shit because they are fucking bankers, and they just assume they're evil from the beginning. Or lawyers, like. Although the interesting thing is, so Plagueis' master was a starship designer. He built starships. That was his whole thing. He like owned a company that made like luxury starships. And they made like amazing starships, and that was like his cover. Darth Bane was just a random businessman, or at least in the books. I don't know what his canon thing is, but in the original like Legends, the now Legends books, he was a businessman who like built up this like business empire. He didn't. I think it was like an import-export business with like mining stuff. And then
I did see like someone talking about it on Twitter, like the
Birdemic.
planet that they're on, was actually like, yeah, was the one that Plagueis and Tenebro were on before. I can't remember. Eptaros? Maybe? No, I don't. They mentioned that it was like
No, they
a
say it's
planet.
unknown, but
It was like an
it's
unknown planet. But
in the Plagueis books, Bardemnik was described like it kind of matches the description of the planet we see. It's also the planet where they were trying to mine cortosis, which is the stuff that the Stranger's or Chimera's helmet is made out of. So it's also the planet where Plagueis became a Sith, the Sith Master, where he killed his master. Although it took them a while to get to that point.
so what do you think?
So I'm like, I don't know. I like the idea that it's Bordemnik, and I like that. But I'm like, I'll have to see what they do with it. I will maintain a lot of things to see how they like it, or like how they run the story, as opposed to just like assuming everything gonna go in a certain way because the character's got design. So I like seeing Plagueis, or at least who everyone thinks is Plagueis, because there's no like way of saying that's definitely Plagueis. It's just it's heavily implied, but it could also just be someone absolutely random, you know.
I mean, would it make sense?
It would make sense. It would fit. He would be old enough. It would be the correct thing to do. But it's also very, very interesting to see different shit from it, you know? It's also interesting to see if Disney doesn't, it like lets its creators tell a dark story. Because I kind of like The Acolyte being more of a Sith story than a Jedi story. So it's kind of has that dark tinge to it of like, a lot of Jedi characters will die because it's not their story. They're not the heroes of the story. They're more they're the obstacles in the story. They're the just like, antagonists to the leaders of the story. But like that doesn't make them they're still technically the like heroes, and they are they don't.
But they're not like the protagonist where they can't die. As we saw, like so many people did die, especially on the planet.
But it's like,
yeah,
I kind of see it as it's a good way to tell a Star Wars story, being darker without it being like edgy to the point of being an R-rated film. Because I don't think you should ever let Star Wars, especially Sith, be R-rated stuff, because then it will lose. It'll lose some of the charm of it, and B, it will lose like the thing that makes it Star Wars and nuance, because they'll just make it big murder party. You know what I mean? I do not. Or at least I don't think
a Star Wars movie should be rated R.
I don't think a story that's centered around Jedi or Sith should be rated R. I don't think that's what. Like side
like
story that's not like
or like something
the main balance of the universe. It should be because they have made Star Wars. There's one thing that I would consider an R-rated Star Wars story, right? Which would be the zombie stormtroopers. And it's Project Blackwing. It's the only thing I consider.
That's the only one.
It's good to be R-rated because it can be that like really dark, gory thing, because that's kind of what it lends itself to. But then it becomes more Alien, and it's like, go watch Alien. And it kind of loses the Star Wars identity if you have it go R-rated, because then it kind of becomes something else. And it loses the like charm of Star Wars, if that makes sense. Where I get why a lot of fans kind of want that, because they've grown up with Star Wars and they want Star Wars to grow up with them. But that's not how it works, and it's not meant to like grow up like that. If that makes any sense.
So if you had to give Acolyte a rating, what would you give it?
I'd give it a solid 6 out of 10. It had some, yeah, it would have some good high points.
Really a 6.
Like really high points, but then a lot of it's dragged down by like weird pacing and some of the characters making like strange heel turns that don't quite make sense for what they're built up to be. So it feels like they haven't quite built up themselves or built up the world of the story properly. So everything kind of falls a little bit flat for me. What would you rate it out of 10? An 8? What?
I'd probably do
Okay.
like an 8. I liked it. Yeah.
What has it at an 8 for you? Like, what about it did you like enough to rank it that high?
I like the characters. The story was good. The fight scenes were really good. Especially this one, this episode, the last episode,
Yeah.
and then the one with Konaka. I really enjoyed Osha
Yeah.
and May, and Soul was obviously like one of my favorite ones. It does suck that Soul is dead.
Yeah,
Given how much me and you liked him, but I think his death really
works.
just like what is it like makes
yeah,
makes
but yeah,
Osha's
I still
turn
don't like
to
the way
dark
they
side more
handled
impactful.
OSHA committing the murder, but like, I completely understand it. Like, I know why he had to die, and it like fits the story, but I'm also like, I still don't like how it was handled.
Do you think if you weren't much of a Star Wars fan, it wouldn't have irked you that badly? If you didn't,
I think
you just watched the movies.
some
you
things
didn't
would have irked me
read any of
less.
The books.
Like that would have. There's a few things that would have bothered me less because I've read the books and I really enjoy the expanded lore. For example, the how easily the one crystal got bled. But like if they like ironed out some of the
Mhm.
slower bits where it doesn't quite mesh together properly. It's also there's like one episode where I feel like it didn't matter. No. Before
6.5 out of 10. I feel like it would have been an 8 or a 9 if they fixed the plot and writing a bit more. Understandable.
before
Wasn't a red
Maul.
lightsaber said to be not seen before Vader?
So
Then
it's before
existing in a
Maul,
prequel means
for
people were lying,
Maul
just
in episode
died?
1. It said that the Sith have been extinct for millennia, not that no one's seen a red lightsaber. They were just like, holy shit, there is a dark side user. Because the thing with the red lightsaber is it doesn't necessarily mean a Sith. It just means somebody who's bled their lightsaber crystal, which could mean a Sith, and it's kind of become the shorthand that a lot of people think of means Sith, but there are the Knights of Ren and like Ren himself who just had a red lightsaber that they found, and it's just a red lightsaber that they have. They're not Sith. So there are like dark side users.
So I'm just reading this straight from the Wikipedia. This is coming from a quote from Darth Sidious. Since kyber crystals are naturally attuned to the light side of the Force, those who serve the dark side must follow a different path. First, they must seize a pure crystal from the lightsaber of a Jedi they have vanquished. In combat, for the saber of a Sith is not given, it is taken. Then they must infuse that crystal with their pain, anger, and hatred, bending it to their will. This corrupts the crystal, aligning it with the dark side and making it bleed with unbridled crimson power. The bleeding process can yield unpredictable results. Some crystals shatter, making their energies unstable and unpredictable. Others resist their realignment, refusing to be bent towards the darkness. Once a crystal has been properly bled, the primal power it releases become not only a deadly instrument in the hands of a Sith Lord,
Yeah.
but a symbol of their true strength in the dark side.
Yeah. I
So
personally
I guess
don't
it
like
just
it that it
varies
was
from
so
crystal to
easy, but
crystal.
like I get why they chose it. But like it's just it's like a tiny nitpick for me that bothers me as a Star Wars fan, but like it's not one where I'm gonna go shit on the whole show because I didn't like something. It's like I didn't like it, but that's just me. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
If somebody else gets more enjoyment out of it than me, that's fine. But I'm also like, I didn't like it.
Yes, exactly, Lindy. I feel
But
like the people who
that was
who
kind
said
of
the
that was
Sith
also
were
the
extinct was
point
very
of them
arrogant and
saying
proud.
it. There was it was supposed to show this like arrogance and pride and like
Yeah, that.
the episode 1.
That's exactly what the Jedi were.
Well,
In
the whole of the
episode,
prequels.
Yeah, or
That like that
three,
was
because
supposed to
pre-
be the point of the
yeah,
Jedi
the
of that
prequels.
era, and I. Yeah.
that was their downfall. That's why they were
Or
destroyed.
that the Sith had come back.
Because they didn't want to believe that the
They
Sith
were
existed.
like, we think they're dead. They're gone. They'll never come back.
Yeah.
And then they came back, but they were sneaky. But yeah, the Sith are a whole fucking can of worms, dude. It's interesting that they would choose a Sith story to tell in this era when there are other eras that would be more interesting to tell. Mostly because I feel like they kind of chose a boring era to be like, yeah, they were basically just politicians and businessmen. They were really not that interesting in this era. Like, there's a lot of stuff where they're like, they
Yeah.
end the series with like, oh, we're gonna go find the Sith and do this thing. I'm like, you guys chose a really fucking boring era for this to be like a multi-series show where it's like, yeah, cool, you could do a single season and be like, okay, cool, this is what happened. But I'm like, I don't know what else you would do with this. You could tell a whole story about Osha coming to terms with the dark side, but then you got to leave out all the Jedi because then it's more interesting. You're just following the Sith and leaving out their conflict with the Jedi. You're just going, these are the bad guys, they commit murder, here we go.
It also kind of runs into a problem because where they have to stay within the lines of like the canon, where like the like one thing that pops into my mind is that Anakin never saw Vader until Revenge of the Sith. So like every single thing in the Clone
Anakin
Wars
doesn't
TV
need,
show,
yeah,
where Grievous and Anakin, Anakin leaves and then Grievous shows up like 5 seconds afterwards because there's that one line
where
in
they're like
Revenge
they'd
of the
never
Sith.
met. It
is
implies
like, I
they've
thought
never
you'd be
met.
taller.
I still kind of like that they did that. I don't know. It was kind of a fun idea to just push that.
Yeah. Where they can't go too far because then it goes back to, the Sith haven't been around
And
for
then-
like a millennium, where Ki Mundi is like saying that stuff. They can't go too out there where I'm pretty sure both of us would love to go see a Star Wars show where they go into like the depths of like the Sith, like where are all the Sith hiding out and stuff like that, because it
Yeah,
might
no,
mess
that thing
like,
with the
canon and
librarian.
stuff. I would love it to see.
You're
like,
seeing the
Darth
old
Bane
Republic, like
or,
seeing
like,
the
stuff
Sith
like
Wars and shit
KOTOR
like that.
being brought.
That would be sick.
Yeah. But it's like, you can't mess with canon, which sucks. I mean, it would be cool if it took place in an alternate universe thing. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But then we run
And
into
it's
the
like,
problem of it like not having an impact on the story.
It'd be cool to do, like, if
Overall.
you go to the Old Republic, because then you can do whatever the fuck you want and be like, it doesn't impact the movies, the original movies, or those main trilogy movies, right? But it does flesh out the lore, so it becomes more like watching
Mhm.
House of the Dragon. It becomes that vibe where you like watching the history of this universe instead
Yeah.
of like actively anything that has anything to do with what actually goes on with the main series. It's just lore in the background, or it's stuff that just fleshes out the universe and makes it feel more alive and like it's been lived in. People have done shit in this world.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but like the Old Republic stuff hasn't really
No.
been touched
The-
on.
the
like, in
closest they've done
current,
is, like,
Disney
name,
Star Wars canon, has it?
Sith battalions in Rise of Skywalker after Old Republic Jedi. Like there was a legion that was named after Revan, but that's about it. So it's like, oh, they existed. They've been
Mhm.
named in this universe, but like,
So theoretically, if they did go that far back, they could really do whatever they want as long as it doesn't have like any lasting impacts on like the story going forward after.
Pretty much.
The
There's also the
original
thing of
series and
like
the
with
prequels.
Revan's story, right? You can do anything you fucking want with that because even if you just adapt
Mhm.
the Old Republic game, like the first night.
Yeah, but is
Well,
the old
the way
is the
I
Old
see it
Republic
is
games
it's
being
canon
considered,
until
like, canon in the Star
they
Wars
show you
timeline?
it's not. If that makes sense, right? Especially if it's something that doesn't impact the like main story of anything. So to
Yeah.
me, all the High Republic, all of the Old Republic shit is canon until they have something that they say is canon that directly contradicts it. So so far, if you go and play those games and see that, it's still canon because it doesn't interfere with anything. Nothing they do like contradicts it. So it can be your canon to fill out how they got to the High Republic, what the Sith Wars were like, because they do mention those in the movies and stuff. They mention that the Sith were wiped out, and they mention and allude to like wars and stuff that happened. They're not erased from canon. They're just a separate canon.
Also,
It's
Lau,
weird.
you're thinking of the Legends like books and stuff and comics. Those when Disney bought Lucasfilms, they I think a little bit after that they erased a bunch of the Legends
they more
stuff
made it
from
so it's a
being
different timeline.
Canon.
So it's like the alternate version of what happened afterwards. And as much as a lot of people online are like, "Oh, Legends is so," I've read a lot of Legends. It's
Yeah, there's a Legends I think comic where Chewbacca
no,
dies
he
from
doesn't
a
get a
moon
moon
falling
dropped on
him.
him. He gets blown up, and then a moon crashes into the planet, into the asteroid they were on. It. No, Luke never.
And there's one where Luke has
Luke-
like a daughter.
Oh no, he marries
like
an ex-Imperial
marries, like,
agent, and she
like marries
becomes
a
a
Sith
Jedi
lady.
Master. So that's Mara Jade. Her story's cool. She was like
Oh.
a Sith. She was an assassin for Sidious, and it's quite interesting. I mean, Yoda is quite old. I think he just learned about the rule of two. I reckon.
I mean, there's also
it's
that
more like a
Clone
vi-
Wars
uh,
episode where he
the
fought
bound
Darth Bane.
soul of Bane, but yeah, there's a bunch of weird shit that happened, dude. You know, Sidious came back in Legends as well, right? So people like shitting him coming back in Rise of Skywalker. I do too. And every time they've brought him back from the dead, it's been a stupid as fuck story. God damn, it's so dumb. Yeah, it was
Wasn't
it's
it-
clone stuff
wasn't
in
it in
canon as
Legends,
well.
it
He
was,
like
like,
cloned
clones and
his
stuff,
body
right?
and then he like soul hopped, which is what he did.
Yeah.
What's known as essence transfer, which he also does in the Legends book called Dark Empire. It was dumb as fuck in Dark Empire, and they just did it again. I'm like,
Mhm.
why did they bring him back? I know that there's precedent in Legends for him doing it, but the way they did it last time was stupid. Actually, it was dumber in Dark Empire than the way they did it in Rise of Skywalker. Because in Dark Empire, Luke becomes just Vader. He becomes Vader for like a book for no reason. He just meets Sidious and is like, "Cool, now I'm Vader now." He's like, "Okay, cool, now I'm Vader." Now.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Leia has like
Bison
a
in Street
conversation
Fighter.
with him in the next book, and he's like, "Okay, I'm good again." Like they don't even fight; they talk. They have one conversation, and he just stops being evil. It's like,
Dude.
this what the fuck?
Dude, so Lyle brings up this this good point.
Some
Do
of
you know
it?
the stuff with M. Bison and Street Fighter? So M. Bison has a bunch of
Hmm?
of bodies that he has like in case his main body dies. Some of them are women, some of them are like animals. Some like one is like a French dude in Street Fighter 5 named Abel, and in like Street Fighter 6, the latest one. He just all of his bodies end up having their own personalities.
But what
and
was
he
the point of the
doesn't
extra
use any
bodies
of them.
then?
He just like comes back to life.
What the fuck?
I don't know. to add more characters to the
That's
fighting game
dumb.
roster.
Also,
I don't know.
yeah, Lyle, talk no jutsu, and also like fucking Project Necromancer, which they kind of talk about in. They make the story of how Palpatine came back more interesting in canon because of the Bad Batch, and like how that works. That made it the good part of his soul.
Yeah, I haven't seen the latest season.
He's got
of
a
it.
good part of his soul. What the fuck?
Yeah,
Street Fighter's insane. Star Wars is
Dude, Street Fighter's
becoming
fucking crazy.
significantly more insane, and some of it's like, this didn't need to happen. No, why? Why have you idiots made this choice? Yeah, I still maintain that bringing Palpatine back from the dead is a stupid fucking idea, regardless of which version or which timeline it's from. You know, they did that in fucking
Somehow
Legends as well. They
Palpatine
basically
returned.
said the same fucking line. And it was dumb then too. It's like,
It's so dumb. For some reason, Palpatine returned.
they couldn't think of a reason to make
They couldn't
any
think of
sense.
a reason.
So they just did it, and you're like, why didn't you just be like, I mean, it would be like,
Yeah, just take it. Just take
I
it.
don't understand why
We
they
gave up.
had him say that. They should have had a more interesting line for him to say at least, or just be like,
Yeah, they should have, but they didn't. I mean, honestly, for all they know, they don't even know the reason.
I mean, I get it, but I think
that's
it
why
would have
Poe
made
was
more
like,
sense
for
if
some
he'd
reason,
just been like,
Palpatine returned.
so the First Order's now got a fucking Sith Lord. We are so fucking annoyed.
They easily could have been like, oh, here's like a destroyed Imperial fighter or like Star Destroyer. We got some info off of it. Oh, look.
But also,
Palpatine
they
had clone batches.
I do
Here.
also. I feel like they could
That's
have also
probably
just
how he came back.
not addressed it at all and just been like, so we have to now deal with this new thing. There's a Sith Empire coming. Like, they could have even just not revealed that Palpatine had anything to do with it.
Yeah, but then, if that was the case, then if Palpatine did come back and they just don't address it, then why have the big thing of Vader killing Palpatine?
No, I mean,
Or
like, you
Sidious
don't.
at the end of,
like, they didn't need to speak
the
about
movie.
him coming back. They could have just
If
had, like. So the audience knows. So they could have had him stay as, like, a manipulator, right? So instead of having Palpatine reveal himself to the galaxy, he doesn't say shit. Palpatine just talks to Kylo Ren and then leaves. And then Kylo Ren leaves and does his thing, right? And then everything fights and shits and has this... Like, they have the whole fight. And then they find Palpatine when they go there. Like, he acts
Dude,
as this
wait.
mysterious evil thing. This mysterious puppeteer.
has there ever been an instance of a Sith ghost,
Kind
ghost,
of.
like possessing somebody? What if Sidious just came back
so
as a
Sith
Force ghost
can't
and just
do Force
possessed
ghosts.
Kylo?
The dark side doesn't let you do a Force ghost in the way we understand Force ghosts to work. You can only become like a proper Force ghost, like you see at the end of Episode 6 and Yoda in Episode 8, if you're fully light side. Like, it's the only way to get that particular ability. You can only get it through like pure light side energy.
Would you be mad if they written it in like?
Oh no, there is.
like a
But
Force
it's
ghost equivalent
different.
to the dark
So it
side?
doesn't work the way because it's more like, so Force ghosts in the sense of the Jedi and that you've seen are like pure spirits. Like, they are basically just sentient aspects of the Force. So they're also insanely powerful. Like, if they start trying to affect the world around them, or they choose to, they can do basically anything they want. Essence transfer. So they become
So
more
what's
like a
the Sith
possessed
equivalent of
body.
that, then?
So they're not like the Jedi who are like perfectly one with the Force. They are a possessed body. They are just like a poltergeist. They're stuck to a place. That's why when Yoda went to Moraban, which Canonically, it's just it's Korriban, but with like a shift in how you'd say the name. Like there's a linguistic shift, but it's still Korriban.
That's
Yeah,
where
that's where he
yeah,
fought
that's
Bane. That was
where
Bane.
he fought Bane, right?
But he's not. But it was Bane who clung to life so venomously with the dark side that his spirit was like bound to his body. So it's a different kind of immortality. They can't be like Obi-Wan or Yoda and like just appear anywhere in the fucking galaxy that they want, and they can't just commune. You have to go find these ghosts. The Sith ghosts are like bound to one place, and they can't like affect the world around them the same way that, say, Yoda does in Episode 8, where he like calls down lightning to just destroy that tree.
Yeah. See, that would be so interesting if that.
Yeah, but then
if
you
the
would
essence
then,
transfer happened with Kylo
'cause
Ren
with the essence
instead of
transfer, it
Sidious's
would mean
body
that
just coming back.
Kylo Ren would be dead. He would just be Sidious in Kylo's body. But yeah, that would.
See, that would be so interesting.
Yeah,
That would have
No, I
been so
agree.
much more interesting than what we
but
got. in
there's a
the
bunch of
last
things
one.
you could do that would make Rise of Skywalker more interesting.
I mean, it would also make so much more sense with how Sidious was grooming
Yeah,
Ben to be like
steal
the
his
next
body
Vader,
when he's like
just to
when he
go
has
ahead
like
and
the
steal
power
his
of a
body.
Skywalker, and he has all this, and he steals his body. That would have been a way more interesting twist, or like.
Yeah,
And then like kills Ben that way. So Ben is killed, and that's Palpatine walking around, fighting, just destroying shit with his lighter. Yeah, that would have been really brutal for all the Reylo fans. Hey, get fucked, Reylo fans. You have a stupid idea of what's a relationship.
Dude, okay. I posted this on like I think a subreddit. They were talking about like the question was, what is the most out of nowhere thing that happened in like a movie or TV show? And someone mentioned like the someone
Where they
mentioned
kiss.
the Kylo Ren
That's a
and
stupid fucking
Rey
scene.
scene, and I was like, I replied like I can't believe I'm not the only one.
Yeah, I got this vibe
like,
that where they're like
brother sister vibe from them this whole time.
uneasy allies to like just trying to figure shit out, and they're like, and then the Reylos are like, oh no, they're in love. And I'm like, no, this is an abusive fucking relationship. Fucking no.
Okay, so I'm looking at it right now on Reddit. The thing was worst attempts at romance in media, and they wrote Black Widow and Hulk in Age of Ultron are so bad no other MCU film even tried to expand on it. They all just moved on. Hulk in anger throwing a table in Endgame after Natasha died was the only thing it led to. And then I wrote, I'm glad I'm not alone in this feeling.
Hulk and Black Widow.
Like, for real, I thought they had a brother and sister relationship.
'Cause-
And... No, hold on, I think... Oh, no, okay, they wrote, Kylo and
Yes.
Rey kissing was like a fucking jump scare with how out of nowhere it was. And then that's where I wrote,
Yeah,
I can't
I thought
believe
it
I'm
was
not the only
it was more
one. I thought
platonic
they had
than
a sister
fucking
brother
romantic.
relationship.
And like, I also like the idea of Palpatine pushing Ben to kill his parents and stuff, and like Ben never actually wanting to do that. God damn it, there's so much shit where it's like, it would have been more interesting to like if you wanted Palpatine to be the master manipulator, you just have him keep pushing and him being this like voice in Ben's head that he keeps hearing that pushes him towards murder. I'm like, so much better. So
Yeah.
much better. Sweet home Alabama.
Sweet Home Alabama.
And then he wants to bang Rey because she's even more powerful. Yeah.
Yeah. And make, like, go
Or
all
ultimate
genetic
Sith
and make
body
it like
for him.
a...
Like, I kind of
ultimate
get it if it'd be like
Jedi.
that, and it becomes more of this like depraved thing. But that would also then fall into the themes of the dark side being like this evil. I always describe it as like meth of the Force, like magic meth, because you even see those detrimental effects on people's appearances when they use the dark side for a long time. Like, you've seen Palpatine, right? You like kind of see what happens to him when he uses the Force too much, and he like gives too much into his anger and hatred, he becomes like he like deforms himself, and you get the yellow eyes and shit like that.
Well, I know the Sith eyes thing, but what happened to him was the stuff with Mace Windu and the lightning.
It's left me scarred.
The attempt on
deformed.
my life has made me scarred.
But the way I've always read that scene is that what actually happened is because what Mace Windu did was he reflected his darkness back at him. All it did was destroy the mask that Palpatine had of this grandfatherly old man who looked after everyone and was kind. It just stripped him of his mask and showed what he actually is, which is this.
Is there like any other indication of something like that happening?
There is in the Plagueis book,
in like the books or like the comics or anything,
and there is a bit in the Bane book, and the Melgus book, actually, for that matter. And then there's also in the Old Republic MMO, the Sith Emperor has that as well, where his like original body just becomes consumed by the dark side and like disintegrates, essentially, because he's too immersed in the dark side and he keeps like stealing bodies and building new bodies for himself. You also see it in episode 9 when you see Palpatine. He says his power in the dark side destroys his bodies. So he's been going through bodies. That's also why he's like so decrepit when you see him. Like his fingers are jutting out bone and shit.
You think it might be because the clone body
always read
didn't
it
really
as
fully take?
Well, they describe. If I remember correctly, Palpatine
Maybe
in the
that's
movie
why?
describes it as he's too powerful for for the bodies they're creating. There's too much dark side.
Interesting. All right.
Andy, we're gonna
Okay.
do the boys now. For anyone who
Ready for
doesn't
The
want
Boys?
spoilers for the boys season 4, I advise you vacate now, because we're going into it. Yeah. Soto Emperor is definitely, he's like literally wrapped in bandages and like falling apart when you meet him. In most of your guys, in any of the forms you meet him in. Although I think only the Jedi Knight actually meets and kills him. I haven't finished all the stories yet.
All right, guys. Final warning on The Boys season finale. We're talking about it right now. All right. Boy, I can't believe they really had a content warning at the beginning of the episode.
Okay.
That threw me off so much when I like. So me and AC watched
Before I
the
went
Boys
climbing,
episode
yeah.
before he went out to go climbing, and it just I just had it paused on that screen. I was like, it said like what did it say? It had, this is purely coincidental. Any things happening in real life is just like coincidence and all that stuff to cover.
And then there were,
right after Trump
the
almost
episode
got
proceeds
fucking
with
shot.
murdering
the other
the vice president by ripping her in half, of course, and then
Yeah.
having a whole fucking thing with Homelander just going on a genocidal rampage through his entire company, and then some weird shit happening with Ryan.
Yeah.
That was weird with Ryan, and
that was
and then
amazing.
Starlight being like upset with Huey for not noticing a shapeshifter.
That's like 100, like that could steal her appearance and her memories. Like for real. Okay. I gotta ask you, do you think Lindy would be mad at you if you got if she got switched out for a shapeshifter that could completely like 100% take her appearance and her memories? And you didn't notice until like
I don't
days,
know.
like Huey
I
or
genuinely have no idea.
Like, I would think
We're on the
no,
boys now, Party Rock.
because
We are on the
how
boys.
are you supposed to know?
Because I was asking.
Yeah, we had a whole thing. The spoiler.
Lindy was asking why I'm looking at her, and I'm like, yes.
What are you looking at?
Spoilers.
Yeah,
We're-
Party Rock. Spoilers for the
Also,
boys.
we've just been like spoiler. We've been like
Spoilers.
spoilers time. Yeah, I'd bail if I were you, man. But holy shit, that episode was good.
All right. So, I really liked how they tried to get Ryan on their side.
Although
But they-
I actually
they
I don't
just
think,
went
I think
away-
Butcher
went
was
with
trying
it
the
the
right
exact
way,
wrong
and he was
way.
trying hard to do it the right way, and then Mallory fucked it up so hard.
Yeah. That was really bad. I don't like how Ryan just killed her so easily. But honestly, with how she was just standing between him and letting him go, and how this was like the perfect area to keep Ryan to keep someone like Ryan prisoner in case he didn't want to
Yeah.
join up with them.
It was also
But
the
It was
and then
crazy.
Starlight just or Annie turning up, finding the shapeshifter, and then promptly murdering the fucking shapeshifter. Like, it's like I'm
kicking
over
her
this.
ass.
Straight up fucking kills her.
And then
like,
straight into
really?
How many times did you have sex with her? And then Huey's like, "Oh, you know how I found out?" It's
He's like, he
because,
started getting
X,
suspicious,
Y, and
but he
Z,
hadn't
these
quite got
little
there yet.
things. And then to rub it in even more, the
Bruh.
shapeshifter proposes to Huey. And then Huey like gets out a ring.
At
And
that
it's
point,
like, oh my god. I think like when
it's so
we
rough.
were
on
watching it, I
Huey.
was like, God,
You
this
was-
is
I swear you were
so
struggling to get
rough.
through it though. Just based on
Yeah.
how rough it was on Huey.
First, like he gets like assaulted in like a previous episode, and now it's like straight into this one. It's crazy.
So I just had an arbitrary thought because I saw
Oh,
a thing
God.
on Premiere. Sorry, this is back to the Acolyte again because my brain is like that. But also, I'm like, so who would you say would
Mhm.
who is a better duelist? Any of the Jedi in Acolyte, or the prequel Jedi? Who would you less want to have to fight against?
Mm.
You think Quimir is a better Jedi, a better duelist
Probably
than like
Quimir,
say
honestly.
Dooku or?
No, I would not want to fight against Khmer. Because Khmer is like super in your face and aggressive.
Okay, so
and he
you
can
think he
pull
could
out
be Anakin?
the dagger that's attached to his lightsaber. I wouldn't say that. I would say I would
you'd
I
rather
would
go
not
up
like
against
to go
Anakin
up
then.
against Khmer rather than Anakin.
Even though Anakin's more likely to
Yeah.
try and just force choke you because fuck it, that's quicker, or like. And just going off like some of the stuff I've seen him do in other media, just he'll stomp you in the face. Because I feel like, say there's a duel between Anakin and Quimir, I feel like Anakin would break the Cortosis helmet with his like lightsaber hilt,
Mhm.
and Anakin's also like
I don't know. I haven't
the
really
reason I
seen
say he would do is
Anakin
because
do
he
anything like that.
tends to be quite quick on figuring out how a fight would work, right? And how to win a fight. The only reason Obi-Wan beat him is because he knew all of Anakin's moves. Like he taught him everything, and he'd like been the one person who knew everything he did. But then if you take someone like Chimera, who's
Right.
kind of used to Jedi being a bit overwhelmed.
Like, he literally went up against like
and then
6 other Jedi on one.
Anakin, who's most of my reasons are Anakin also trained by fighting in a fucking war, whereas Chimera's like picking on Jedi who are soft and squishy and kind of not really warlike, and he's like he got his knighthood fighting into a war. He's fought actual Sith several times and like survived. He has, and it wasn't just Dooku. I think he also fought. I don't think he ever fought Maul, but I know he did. I'm pretty sure he did fight Savage. Yes, he's fought Maul's brother, I believe.
Anakin?
I could be misremembering, and it's just Obi-Wan who keeps fighting all the fucking Sith and being like, "Why me every time?"
I know Obi-Wan fought Savage, and then
and then Ventress helped.
And Maul.
I think you might be right.
I don't think
you're
Anakin
right.
ever fought Savage. Oh wait, no, there is. Oh right.
Yeah, where he kills
the one where Savage
where he
force
kills
chokes
the
pig,
Toydarian
the flying pig
king.
dude.
So I'm like, yeah, Anakin did fight him.
Yeah.
He was brutal, but I'm also like, I still see Anakin as more likely to kick the crap out of Chimera, just based on also like Anakin has a lot of his fighting style is super aggressive, like more so even than Chimera's. Like,
yeah, I know that, but I don't think we've ever seen Anakin do like tricks with the lightsaber.
Yeah, you see him do it as Vader, and
like,
he does it in the
throw
Clone.
lightsaber
He also
like
does
Chimera
it in the
has.
Clone Wars.
Oh, as Vader.
Also, he does it. He does it in the Clone Wars when they're fighting
I just can't
they
think
fight a
of
droid,
of a
and Anakin
fight
just straight up
scene
throws his fucking lightsaber
where-
at it, and then calls it back to his hand. But the other thing I feel like would happen with Anakin is he would just pull the lightsaber out of the air. Like, you throw the lightsaber there and you just catch the fucking thing and come at you with your own lightsaber. Because he also has like next level precognition with that sort of thing. Like, it's canonical that he's extremely good at with his reflexes and shit.
It might be just be recency bias because I like
Yeah.
the stuff in Acolyte. But yeah, it could just be that. Maybe
I'm
that's
mostly picking Anakin
Chimera.
out of just A, favorite character.
Alright, well,
B,
back-
I've immersed myself way too deeply in the lore, and it's a problem. Now back to the boys and Homelander's weird victory.
Dude, I find it. I was really laughing and feeling really happy during the scene where Firecracker's just coughing in the room, and he's like, go away, like move forward towards down on the row. And she just looks so sad, and she looks like borderline on crying. It was so funny. I also found it really hilarious how quickly
I don't know.
Newman wanted out.
I don't know. It felt like Newman's been
Even after
slowly
all the shit
edging
she's
towards
done.
wanting to be out the whole series, because there's a bunch of times where she kind of looks around and goes, "What the fuck am I doing? Why am I here?"
Mhm.
She also like saves her dad. At least I think he's the Giancarlo character.
Yeah, she
She
Yeah,
saves
she's-
Edgar. What happened to
yeah,
Edgar?
she
He just
saves,
vanished.
Edgar.
Actually, I can't.
No, she picked him up in a car, and
I think he might
that's
be the one
it.
to hold
I'm
on
pretty
to his
sure
daughter.
he'll come back in the next season.
Like, that would make sense to me.
Maybe. Oh man, the whole scene with the Deep and
Noir killing like the wrong
Black Noir
Ashley.
killing all the people, and getting the wrong Ashley. Oh god. And then Ashley, the real Ashley,
No idea what that actually
finally
did to her.
ejecting herself with Compound V. We do see her head like bulging out with like the stuff. So maybe I saw like some people saying that she's gonna be like a Professor X like character, like being able to read minds and stuff. But I thought it would be funny if she like grew all her hair back, and she was able to control it like Medusa from the Inhumans.
I think that would be a more interesting thing, but given what happened to the size of her head, I think she got something similar to Sage. Like a similar ability to Sage.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Sneeze.
Oh, I'm gonna sneeze real quick. 1 second. Oh.
Oh, like when you feel it coming, and then
I
it
hate
just
it when the
stops.
sneeze comes and just goes away. Yeah. I hate it so much. I did like
Oh, I'm fucking
how
lost. They've been
Kimiko
playing
and
this
Frenchie
fucking
finally
game
got together.
for like 3 seasons. Where it's like, will they, won't they, will they, won't they, will they, won't they, will they? Just fucking, just fuck already, please, please.
Yeah. Dude, I think I even mentioned it on the scene where they kiss. I was like, oh, is Frenchie gonna just like pull away and not kiss her back? But no, he does. He kisses her and is like, oh, that's good. And then it culminates in like the ending scene where everyone,
like,
almost everyone,
Starlight
gets fucking
escapes.
taken in.
We have no idea where
by
Butcher
the
is. He's
police.
just gone.
He's just going somewhere. So Butcher finally gives in, kills Newman with the tumor tentacle things. Apparently he can just control it now. Huey and Starlight, or Annie, all the boys people get like passports and stuff to like go hide out. Huey and Annie almost gets taken in, but she just like bolts away. Huey gets taken in.
Bruh, why is
MM gets slapped by Love Sausage.
This guy's fucking
and
ability
gets
is
taken
so
in.
gross.
And Huey gets mind controlled by the one of the lady from Gen V, who can control people's minds just by touching them and telling them to do something. And Sam, the guy who sees puppets and stuff from Gen V, is holding back Kimiko, and
She,
she
like,
finally talks and
screams.
says no. Yeah, she screams it, which is, I think, like the first time we've seen her like talk. She might have talked prior to like flashbacks of her before she got taken into like the camp or like the
Yeah.
group where they gave her Compound V, the terrorist group, Rising Sun. And Newman's daughter gets put in like the same home that she got put into when she was a little kid.
Oh yeah.
Before Edgar took
It's
her.
all mad.
Crazy.
It's completely mad,
It's
and I
super
don't know.
crazy.
I thought it was great, but like, the Deep has lost his fucking mind. Like, the Deep's all the way out of his
Yeah.
fucking mind. I don't know what the fuck's going on with Black Noir. He was just like, huh, murder boner. I'm like, oh no.
Motor boner. Which apparently is true
Original.
because Deep said it in like one of the other episodes that
yeah,
the original Black Noir had one after
He's
he
just
killed,
becoming
like, a
more and
fishing
more
village.
actual Black Noir, but he also seems to have Homelander's powers, so I feel like they've done something weird where they've kind of taken comics Black Noir and merged them within to become like a semi-new character. It's very interesting.
Well, I remember because the director of The Boys went on was on a video. He said that they never really thought about doing the whole Black Noir is just a clone of Homelander thing like in the comics. They just made Noir his own character. And it's funny because the original Black Noir is played by the same actor that's playing new Black Noir, but with how they went with the story about him being faceless and not talking, they're just giving the actor reign to talk now and actually show his face, which is funny.
Yeah.
And apparently the
Just
actual
added
Black
it.
Noir actor is like narcoleptic in real life.
I love that.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Butcher killed Newman. Butcher now has
And
access to the virus.
Given
that
he
can
is
kill the
now
soups.
a soup.
Yeah. And it shows like he has like a vial in like the ending shot of him driving. So maybe he's just gonna use it on Homelander to like kill him. Let's see what else. Ryan went away.
It's also
I don't know
possible.
if Ryan's gonna like turn against Homelander or anything. Dude, it was really crazy. It was so crazy how much Mallory just like dumped on him about like him raping Ryan's
I
mom
don't understand why
and
she did
killing
that
all
because
the
I'm like
people in,
watching.
the
I'm like,
plane.
what the fuck are you doing, you dumb bitch? You're gonna turn him evil, and you can see Butcher also like watching and being like, no, stop. He doesn't like. You can't dump this all on him at once.
Stop.
Dump one thing
Yeah.
and let him figure out how he feels about that, and then wait. Then tell him the next thing. Don't tell him all of it at once, and then stop him from
Yeah.
leaving. Like, just let him leave.
I'm pretty sure I said this at the end when we got done watching it, but I was like, they have to bring back A-Train. They have to bring back Starlight, Butcher, like for the next season, the final season, season 5. Because they have said that this season 5 is going to be the end. Ashley. Who else? Maybe
I don't
Kimiko?
know. She's a
but
soup.
probably
She's like a
being
full-on soup. So I
taken
think
in.
she might be
I don't know.
She
It's
might
great.
be like going somewhere else to work with the soups. She was also borderline impossible to fucking kill. Like they've snapped her neck,
Mhm.
removed her limbs. Yeah,
Yeah, she's Wolverine. It's crazy. God. What else? The stuff when they were talking about we need to make America super again, all that stuff. I was half expecting them to say like we got to make America great again as like the final thing. But they didn't, which is funny. Let's see. Trying to remember. I'm like reading off the boys' Reddit to see if I missed anything. Nothing really.
yeah. Nothing's coming to me about the boys because I'm just like,
you have anything?
it's quite different from the book, from the comics, but I'm also like, It. Although I will say in the
Yeah.
comics,
It's so
Huey
much
and
different.
Annie do get married, so I'm like, it looks like they're taking some beats, but not all the beats.
I don't know if the marriage actually went through, because she's like super angry about like Huey marrying the fake her. I can't wait for next season, and it's already getting made by now. Like it's being written. Can't wait. But yeah, I think that's it.
It's 3 hours,
for
20 minutes.
This podcast.
We've been
It's like
going
3
and
hours
going
long.
and going, and I've actually been having a lot of fun. Although at this
Yeah.
point, I'm like, my horse is a bit voiced, and I need a drink. I almost caught. I honestly, I caught that spoonerism, and then decided,
Alright,
you know what? It's funnier if I just go with it. Go for another 6, not a fuck.
Go for another 6. But if you guys do open up the channel rewards thing, you can do a question for Chris and AC. It's only 100 points if you guys have. It's only one per person. But this is like the time where we'll we'll check like the email to see if we have any emails. Let's see, at 2
I mean, you can put it in chat. You can put the email in chat if you want.
At gmail.com.
Let him
know. Yeah. Or you guys can just redeem a channel point redeem, which I'm pretty sure you guys have been listening to this whole time. You guys have like more than 100 channel points by now. But if not, just go ahead and put in the email on the thing.
Go for another 6. You have 10. What do you mean you have 10? Lyle, what the fuck do you mean you have 10? 10 what?
Are you done talking about the boys?
Yeah, we're done talking about the boys. 10 what, Lyle?
10 points? There's no way you have 10 points. You've been here this whole 3 hours.
Lyle,
he's lying.
give us proof. Give us proof. Fucking prove it to us, Lyle.
Yeah.
You're being fucking sus. Yes. Oh, there's lies.
Okay.
I sense lies. Lies.
Let's see. X 4 means for. There's no emails coming in right now. So I'll give it another like
Let's
5
see.
minutes.
Maybe
if
I
not,
mean,
we can
Lindy's
just go ahead and end it.
back. She may have some questions for us, but those you do have to use the redeems. I'm afraid they must be used. You want to ask us something specific? You gotta use them redeems. I could ask us questions, but I don't got no questions. Actually, I do. What do you mean? The fuck is that question?
Question
What the fuck question is that? Like
why
what?
is
Be
AC
specific.
like this?
Let's see. Like what? Why am I like what? Blinky? Blind? Black-eyed? Green? Are you asking why I'm green? That's greenest. You can't just ask why someone's green.
You can't
Be like
just
asking
ask
Chris
someone
why he's got so
they're
many
green.
tentacles coming out of his back. Don't even worry about it. Also, Lindy could probably answer. He will in a minute. Chris, show them the tentacles that come out your back when you make a face.
Oh, that.
Wait for it. Wait.
Oh wait, hold on, let me pull that up. It's gonna look weird because I only have that on my gaming, my gaming model.
Watch this. He's gonna pull out his controller.
Yeah, Vito 2.
He's gonna pull out his controller and be like, "To Compound V now. Compound V time." He's become Butcher now. Oh no, he just took all the Compound V.
I'm Butcher now.
You've become window size.
I gotta do my best Butcher
What the
impression.
fuck are you talking about, Huey?
Oi,
What the
Huey.
fuck?
Oi, Huey.
Oh, shut up.
Homelanded on
Lyle.
nabbed my son and killed my
No.
wife.
No. Also, I got tentacles. I got them tentacles coming on my head. So you are not
knows.
cockney enough for this. What the hell? You saw what part?
Out of your.
Mate, what part of fucking England are you from? New York. Fuck's sakes.
Have you seen the TikTok of the Oi Huey meme?
I have. Also, Lindy is tormenting Chewie with clicks.
You have?
He's making the funniest face. Also, Lindy, according to Lyle, you need to draw the yowie. I don't know what that means.
It goes like, Oi Huey, Homelanded
Oi,
on
Huey.
my wife and nabbed me son. Womp womp. And it just cuts to him like,
Although, to be
wearing
fair, it
different
goes like this.
Hawaiian shirts.
Oh, Yui. Homelander done fucking killed
That's
my
funny.
wife. And mate, I took his son away. He's a cunt.
He took me bloody
And
son.
we're gonna go fuck him up. Bruh.
So stupid. All right. Well, the only question we got was why is AC like this?
You
And
mean? Because what do you mean I'm
got the-
Scottish?
got
I'm
the
not from
answer 'cause he's
Scotland. I
Scottish.
haven't been to Scotland yet. I'm from South Africa. Lyle. The answer to the question is it's because I'm not from Durban. I'm not from
All right,
fucking
well, time
Durban,
to wrap
okay?
up.
Well, you haven't been down there in like 4 years, so I haven't got any sunlight. And I'm like this because I haven't seen the sun, I haven't seen the ocean, and I haven't had a single margarita since like 2020 something. 2019.
Why?
No,
Why did
but
you
it
say
is in
margarita?
Durban and a good.
Margarita isn't Scottish.
Fine, a fucking rum.
It's a week before Tokyo. It's awesome.
I haven't been there since I've had rum.
There,
Or
that's
whiskey.
it.
I've had a good whiskey in
Alright.
years.
Well, oh my god. All right, guys. Well, that's gonna be it. For
I've driven
this
him
episode
insane.
of
A
the 280
successful
Gamers
podcast all round.
You have
I would
anything you want to
yes.
say? AC?
He's losing his mind. He is losing his mind.
We will catch you guys next
Yeah.
week for another live episode of the 280 Gamers podcast. If you guys don't know, we host this on the Spotify and YouTube Music. So go ahead and follow us there. Just put in 288 Gamers podcast, or if you just hit
Also, fun fact,
exclamation
if anyone
pod
wants
in
to
the
know,
chat,
last time I was at the beach
like I'm doing right now.
was a week before we picked up the dog, before we even
Mhm.
owned him. I haven't taken the dog to the beach yet. It's actually a tragedy. I need to take him to Durban so that the monkeys will bully him. The monkeys will bully him. Duh.
The what?
The monkeys and... You've obviously never been to Durban, have you? That sounds like a
No.
huge problem. Because
Why
you're
would
an
I?
American with a currency that says you can actually come to South Africa and, you know, have a holiday in South Africa for a reasonable amount of money. Wait,
Oh,
how
I
much
forgot
more
to
violent?
connect
How can
that.
the monkeys get more violent?
There, if you do exclamation
Oh yeah,
point
also our
pod,
YouTube's also going to have our Resident Evil playthrough, which is coming soon. I am almost done.
Yes,
I
as soon
do
as
need to
AC
add
gets
I
done-
do need to
As soon
create
as
a
AC
fucking
gets done editing it.
opening cinematic. Well, I say cinematic. What I actually mean it's just a spinny thing with 288 gamers about to die, and I need to add, and that's going to be sitting in the corner going, it's Max, dunce, dunce, dunce. We are bad at this fucking game. We are so bad at this
That's-
game. God damn, it's funny because we keep getting killed by trains.
Yep.
Oh, Lindy's back to catch the end. Oh, raiding into. Oh, we're raiding into what's his name?
Alrighty, guys.
Garrett.
But yeah, just go ahead and follow us on the socials at
Yeah. And we'll have a
at 288
TikTok coming
Game
soon as well.
Pod, I think. Let me. I gotta look. I'm sorry. I'm dumb. At sorry, at TIG Pod on Twitter. But yeah, share it around if you liked it. Greatly appreciate it.
No,
Anything before
I'm
we
pretty
go?
good. I'm
You see?
done. Except I have to say this. Fucking drink water, you goombers.
What?
Drink water, be healthy, and stop
Yeah,
drinking
drink
tequila.
water.
Lyle. You're not an
Water is
alcoholic.
important. Yeah, catch you guys next time.
Cheers. Cheers, cheers,
Alright,
Johnny.
See you guys next time. Bye. Have a good one.
That was fun. What the hell is he? Flintlock. I forgot you could do that. Damn it, Lindy beat me to it. Oh, we didn't game. Oh yeah, I need to end this fucking